All right, let's do this. Yo, Stink This Podcast, episode 255. George, Greg, back in the building. We appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe this podcast. I'm trying to get better at the intros. This podcast is on all streaming platforms, and video is on YouTube 24 hours after we record this. It gets up eventually. Like I said, appreciate everybody who likes, subscribes, review this podcast. Whatever you listen to this podcast on, please review. We appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the messages this week. I mean, I got so many messages and DMs this week from ridiculous stuff, especially today. All right. We are going to do top 10 favorite sneaker colorways to us. Now, I'm saying favorite because just your favorite. It don't gotta be iconic because I know you're gonna throw that in there.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but sure.
Shout out to the homie at 803 Charlie who sent that in through the website and suggested that for an idea. Why doesn't it make sense?
I mean, I understand why somebody would say that, but it's easier to write a suggestion than to like critically think about what you actually mean when you send a suggestion.
Well, yeah, but I mean, top 10 colorways isn't like thought provoking. Like it isn't like
but like I said, a colorway to me means like if it's transferable to other models or whatever. Like like when I was thinking about it, I wasn't thinking about something that's only been on one shoe. It's something that you could take to other shoes and it still looks fire.
Oh well,
like Blinks or Solar Red Yeezy 2. You know what I mean? Like see, I'm not saying Kanye is the first person ever to do it, but he might be. It's possible. I don't know.
To take a colorway that transfers to other things?
No. To use like Blink or Solar Red.
Oh, no. I think he was.
He might have been. I don't know.
I think he
And
was.
I mean, you can make the same argument about Nets and then the gray one, Yeezy 2. I don't remember.
And maybe not the first to use those colors, but maybe the first combination of those colors.
Yeah.
So whatever. But I will lump that under iconic. Like, those are iconic.
Right, but they're still good, though.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like, your list could fall into iconic or good. It's honestly not a wrong or right list. Like, it's a technically to you list, like always. But, I mean, there are some, like, none of the colorways we would pick suck. Like, I don't see you can't. But I did put mine in a certain order. Next week, already talked to Simple. He's coming through. Since the NBA draft is next week on the 29th, and this is everyone's probably favorite episode, this and probably Sneaker Awards. And please, look, let me tell you something. Do not message me asking, can you be on the show, or can you pull up, or call in. It ain't happening. This is me, George, and Simple Thing. We do this every year. We are doing the sneaker draft of 2021, B.
2020. The 2021 sneaker draft, picking 2020
Picking
sneakers.
2020 sneakers. So that is the rules and understanding of the podcast. We will be choosing...
And Simple's list will finish last, as always. But the thoughts will like it.
I mean, what's funny...
Clearly.
Well, not last time. Nobody liked this as last time. What's funny is it's like if you were drafting a real team with Simple. He'll get the first pick and literally panic. I'm like, you can literally do anything you want. Like, how did you start off with this? How was your number 2 pick this? Like, he'll pick a GR for a number 2. He just does the oddest things. But, like I said...
one year he picked, like, mags and something else.
That was
like
the very, very first year. I think he picked, like, mags and, like, Gucci slippers or something one time, or some Gucci something one time. But like I said, the rules are we do 2020 sneakers, so we kind of try to figure it out just like NBA, the players that were balling last year or whatever the case may be. Oh, you saw that article about Michigan, right? NCAA?
Michigan State. I didn't. I mean, I did, but I didn't read the whole thing.
That's fire.
You didn't ask a sneaker lawyer for comments?
No, because he posted it, but...
No, from last
week. No. But...
I mean, I know the general gist of it. They're partnering to put the names on the back of the jerseys.
Yeah, but it kind of, I guess, kind of clearly shows that they won't be Nike jerseys. Michigan State's a Nike school, but it's custom jerseys. So they're selling the jerseys. Like, they're just making all new Michigan State jerseys or something like that.
Oh, it's not a partnership with Nike.
I don't think it's a Nike jersey, from what I understood. And it gave the dollar amount that the players would get, like... $10 a jersey or something, or I might have read it wrong.
Well, no one's buying. Well, I shouldn't say that. Plenty of people will buy unauthorized fakes, but
but can you do that with Michigan State?
If the players are wearing Nike on the field, I don't. This is just me. I don't want Riddell or whatever. I was trying to think of like a legit company, but whatever company. I don't want ABC Screenographics.
I don't either.
Jersey if they wear Nike on the field.
It's like remember them jerseys like Zephyrs? Some of those had that big Z. It was like
they made hats too.
David hats. I hated them flex fit hats. If you got a big head, once you flexed it, it was cooked. It never went back to normal when you flexed it back each time. But like I said, sneaker draft, we're doing 2020 sneakers, 10 rounds, $4,000 draft cap. So we have to stay within that budget of draft. And what is it that you always say we use? The price of StockX. What is it? The ask?
Average sale price, I think.
Average sale price is what we will be using for that. So we know you guys love that episode. That should be a lot of fun. Simple will pull up. So you guys can come through and listen to how fire my draft is. George, do you have any pickups this week, B? You do?
I mean, I sent you all the screenshots of winning on sneakers. I mean, I must have won 3 things. I think people were upset that I won 3 things in a row.
What'd you win?
Pack,
Pack of
LeBron
what?
pack.
Oh, you know, I
the
did
controller.
say you got that. Okay.
And then the next day, the same shoe that came in the pack, just the shoe by itself. And then the day after that was the Jordan 1, orange and black and white.
Oh, you got one of those?
Got that too.
You got it in hand yet?
No, that Jordan 1 comes tomorrow, I think.
That leather on that looks nice, but
I already sold it though.
The blocking on it is so whack.
Yeah, I thought about.
Whack.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's just It's not whack or
too
fire.
much
It's
white.
just
Like the
Because it's a black toe. I mean,
No,
really?
it's not.
Let me look at the picture.
It's not
I
like
think
a
it's
black toe.
fam.
You put it next to a black toe
All right,
combo,
yes.
it's not the same.
You put a 10.0 model next to an 8.7
it's
model,
not-
you're going to know the
it's not
difference.
the same.
Yes, thank you.
It doesn't even.
You put
but it's not
model
like,
Kardashian next to a girl you know from high school. Yes, you got to know the difference.
Yeah, but it's not like when they dropped bread toes or royal toe, whatever they were.
Joint is basically a black toe. It's just orange on the bottom.
Because that top flap with the wing, it shouldn't be white.
I understand that. I'm talking about just the toe box and the swoosh is black.
Okay, you got to wear baggy jeans to cover up all that white, and then you see the toe box.
We ain't doing all that.
You can't wear shorts with it. Did you get the pack in hand?
A tall person can.
Did you?
Yeah, it's already been shipped. Hannah shipped it for me.
Did
so
you
I
look
didn't
at
even she sent me a picture of it, but I didn't get to see it.
Dang! I want to know what the controller looked like. I actually want to know what the shoes kind of look like.
I thought the thing was going to be sealed. So when Hannah was like, "Do you want me to open it up?" I was like, because I thought it would be what's that, Paranormans? I was like, "No, don't open it.
Oh.
It might not be DS."
It wasn't sealed?
No, you could just pull the flap and open it. So she opened it up and took a picture. I mean, here, I'll show you the picture. It's not. I mean, it's like the most empty space. It's not like one of those cool boxes. Maybe I should. Well, I guess I already sold it and shipped it, so the person can't get their money back at this point.
Listen,
it wasn't on eBay. So, but it's definitely, fam. I sold the pack for $1,000. It's not worth $1,000.
How much was retail on it?
$220. It was one of the greatest steal resale of all time. Because normally you think okay, you could sell a pack for $1,000, but the pack would be $350 or whatever. Fam, it was only $220.
You sold that joint for $1,000.
Some of them went higher than that.
What's the value in it? The shoes or the controller?
I think it's just the special box.
What are the shoes going
the top
for?
of the box is kind of cool. Okay, I mean,
that's cool.
but this is what was inside the box. It's the most empty space ever. I mean,
There's not even any paper.
That's what I'm saying. It's the most empty space. There's no.
I thought it would be cutout, like a Ronnie Feig special box. The shoe fits here. Oh my god! If I paid $1,000 for that, no joke, I'd be heated. That's just a controller, right?
Yeah, just in the controller in the middle in the box.
There's no wires. There's no HD cord. Nothing special. Oh my god!
I didn't want to mess with it, so I just told her just put the paper in there and just leave it alone.
So what do the shoes go for? Just by themselves?
So the most.
And
I don't know if it's ironic or funny or whatever, but I got 2 different sizes. The pack, I got an 11.5, and the regular shoe, I got a 12.5. I don't know. Those were just the 2 highest sizes that I looked up. But the shoe itself, I think I sold for $300 or something like that. Let's see.
What's retail on just the shoes? $180?
$160.
Good lord.
Let me see.
$1,000. So that might be the wackest box combination I've ever seen in my life. And you know what?
The shoe was I sold for $305.
I didn't expect the controller to be in a box. I thought the controller would be maybe wrapped in plastic in an insert or a cool box. It's in an actual Xbox box. It's not even an Xbox retail box. It's like an Xbox factory box. That sucks. I want to know what's on the controller. Is it just LeBron and some characters or something?
Yeah, they showed a picture of it.
Yeah, I never really looked at it too much, but I definitely thought it was going to be much better than this.
I just didn't want to mess with it because I was like, I got $1,000 for this joint. I'm not. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like the Wile E. Coyote smoke when he
I guess
runs
so.
away from
Roadrunner running dust or whatever. I mean, you want to talk about like two characters that are pretty insignificant when it comes to thinking of Looney Tunes. Wile E. Coyote, like they got the best ones.
Well, they might be the most fire characters, but you don't think of them when you think of Looney Tunes.
No, I would expect the Bugs Bunny to be the pack, like a Bugs Bunny pack, not a.
Well, maybe it has something to do with the movie, though, and I haven't seen the movie.
I saw the movie.
Oh, so does it make
save,
more sense now?
I was going to save that for a little bit later, but you know what? Why not? It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Though.
Well, right, but it's not for you. So, listen,
that's debatable.
No, it's not for you. It's for children.
No.
If they wanted to make an actual remake, they would have used the same actors, and then they would have made it for adults. But they didn't do that. They made another kid movie.
Look.
The shoes actually ain't bad. When you look at the LeBrons, they're actually not that bad.
See, the movie isn't. I just don't like the movie isn't
shoes
for
two different
you
colors
because you don't have kids. If you got kids,
I understand
it's
that,
for the family.
No, I'm not saying you can't watch it, but it's not to be like critiqued by adults.
No,
that's not the point.
Not true.
Come on, man.
No. Don't do that. You sound like that man that Rico.
It's for literally Cortez and Mac.
No.
That's
because
what it's for.
No. Because if I watch. Enrico made a good point. If I watch Soul with the kids, I can identify. God dang, that's a really good movie. Made you laugh, made you almost cry, made you feel something. So I can critique.
You go into it knowing that though, like you know it's. I think isn't Soul PG or PG-13 or something
it's
like
PG, it's a Disney Pixar cartoon.
I understand that, but it's not like shucks and slap. Whatever, it's not like a Looney Tunes thing. Like it's not like slapstick or whatever. It's like you went into Soul knowing it's like not a slapstick movie.
Well, I mean, I don't.
That's all, folks. Isn't it? Like that's not what Soul is. I mean,
Space Jam is a healthy combination of slapstick and not slapstick. Like,
well, I haven't seen the second one, but the first one was pretty much just like goofy. That's all, folks. Type jokes the entire time.
Guess, but like, I can't even explain it. Look, I don't want to bash it too much, but I mean, look, LeBron James is one of the worst actors of all time. Now that's it.
We knew that
irrelevant.
from that other movie.
But Don Cheadle and the lady that played, sucks, I don't know her name, but that played his wife in the movie, they saved the movie, and clearly just the cartoon characters. But the story was just bad. Now Cortez think it was one of the fire things he ever seen his entire life.
Of course, because it's for him.
That's understandable, and I get it. But adults can critique something because you know why? That movie's going to be on every single day in my house for about a month.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see it. So I have the right to be like, that movie sucked. All right. Now, I'm not going to say it sucked in front of Cortez because it might hurt his feelings.
Right.
But.
Well, you're also not going to tell him. Well, does he listen to this?
No. Okay. He only watches episodes of himself. So.
Okay. But does he know that Santa Claus. Can I even talk about Santa Claus? Or?
You can because he ain't going to hear it.
Okay. It's the same thing. Like, you're not going to tell him Santa Claus ain't real. Or Easter Bunny or whatever. So, same thing. Like you're not gonna tell them the movie sucks just the same way you're not gonna say like, oh, guess what, Santa Claus ain't real. Like it's just not a conversation you have with a child.
No, that's not the same thing. I'm not gonna say the movie sucks because if he feels that I'm okay with it's cool.
That's a good analogy.
What? No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
One is real and one is fake. The movie's actually here. Like,
no, I understand that, but you're talking about conversations you don't have with your child because it's like an adult and a child. So the same thing. You're
not Santa Claus.
Whatever. Easter Bunny, pick something.
Not Easter Bunny
Pick
either.
something the kids. Yes, it is. Pick something the kids believe. It's the same kind of conversation. You're not going to have an adult conversation with your child about how that's not real. You're just going to let them find out on their own.
I wouldn't even say it to another adult in front of my kid.
Whatever. You're not going to talk about Santa that way either. No, you're not. Because you're like, Cortez is right there. I'm not saying nothing about Santa.
That's different.
If you heard somebody say something, you'd probably be like,
Oh, yeah. I'm a
backhand. Yeah, exactly.
What else you cop? That was it? All the Space Jam pack?
And Jordan 1s. I think that's all that came out, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't wake up for nothing no more on Saturdays. Like, I can't. Past 7, I already see I missed the windows.
Let me tell you, the greatest, not invention, but whatever the word is, the greatest thing to happen. Okay, not the great. This is going to come out wrong because the greatest thing to happen to me recently is not sports cards. But like, the greatest thing that happened to sports cards for me, is that the best way to explain it? Is Target putting everything online because I get everything now. Before, I'm not going to go to the store and fight.
Do they have like release dates or something?
No, it's a random day, and it's at 4 a.m., so you actually have to wake up. But it's like if you're awake and you can check out, like it's the greatest thing ever. So I just have Bluff. He lives in the East Coast. He lives in Louisiana, so he's hours ahead. So he'll already be awake for his day. At least I'm assuming. So I just set my alarm for 4. Wake up. If I have a text from him, Target's releasing. If I don't have a text from him, Target's not releasing. I go right back to sleep. But it's like I can get basically everything that I could not get before for retail price. Like it's just been the greatest. It's not an invention because
has anything happened with it? Getting everything and doing something with it are two different things.
Like what? What do you mean?
Making money.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about how many I got, but I got like the hottest basketball product twice, 2 releases.
Yeah, and the LeBron James shoe and LeBron James pack with the controller.
All right. Well, that yes, I'm talking about cards.
$1,000, Lord.
But like basically the equivalent with cards too. One thing I spent like $300, and I could sell it right now for like $1,000.
And sell it right now for $1,000.
No, I'd rather open it and potentially get like 10,000.
And what if you don't?
Then you just go like this.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why not get the 1,000?
Why? There's no.
Because it's 1,000.
No fun in that.
Don't do that.
It's more fun to open it up.
No, your fun is the anticipation of a possibility.
Yeah, opening the actual pack.
That basically sounds like
if you get it for retail, like if I can understand you don't like if you saying that if you the one paying $1,000 for it, why would you?
Once you open it, you can't get 1,000 now.
If you get good enough cards, you can.
Okay, I don't want to have to do additional work for individual cards in order to make my 1,000 versus leaving it closed and make 1,000.
That's more fun, and especially if you can make instead of making 1,000, you can make 5,000 or whatever. That's better.
But that's a gamble.
Yeah.
Why take that risk?
Because I got them for retail.
Yeah, but retail automatically jumps to 1,000. It isn't like it's a guaranteed 1,000. Anything after that is let's see what happens.
Right.
Now, if you want to make your 1,000 back based off you got a bunch of whack cards, but they might eventually equal 1,000 if you sell them individually.
I don't mean eventually. I mean, if you get a good enough card, you can make the money back immediately.
Too much work for me, blood.
It might be.
Pickups, it's not really a pickup because I bought it.
Fam.
I know you do, and that's a problem.
No,
you should open up your mind.
Yes, mind's eye, third eye.
This isn't a new pickup, but I was hoping this had got here before last week when I actually brought the St. Charles Mosh in. But I wanted to bring these in because I just wanted to open up the podcast and kind of show some love to it because I thought it was a really good idea. I love the shoe a lot. I immediately wore it. There's so many DS sneakers in my closet, but this is one that I wore immediately. Mosh, is it Gouch? I just don't know what it is.
I mean,
I should have watched the video again to hear him pronounce it, but I didn't.
I assumed it would be like guachi, but
he said that a lot of this idea was from his wife. I guess they had like a little bet or something on what to do to choose the next color, and this is the one that won. And this was his wife's idea. He even said the box. To me, the box is fire.
Minnesota Vikings don't make the playoffs or something.
An all-white box to me is fire, considering that the shoe is all color and you open it up in the all color.
I think you reverse it, but that's just
one thing I love about this. See, I think it'd be tight if the shoes were all white and the box had all the color outside. You open it up and it's all white. You wouldn't buy the shoes if they were all white.
Why
not? It's all white shoes. You might.
You wouldn't buy it.
I wouldn't because I don't buy all white shoes like that unless they're shell toes. Look, the shoe I sell and comfort on the shoe is ridiculous. Like, I'm talking where I was wearing it out and I wore it to Cortez's soccer game and I wore it to the grocery store. And at one point I was standing there and I was like, wait a minute. These joints is actually really comfortable. I didn't notice it at first. But, man, these joints unlaced with the no-show socks, or if it's a pet, these joints is fire. The colors are vibrant. Now, the best part about this is which he advertised, about the shoe, and a lot of people already know this who got the shoe.
Well, the worst part about it is the price. And I understand why he has to do it, because when you are like a micro company, that sounds bad, but you know what I mean, like a micro brand compared to a macro brand, you have to charge more.
Also, his are made in America. So it's going to be more money. It's not overseas. It's made in Pennsylvania.
Well, right,
which is a good thing.
But you've done the hat thing before. You know the hats are cheaper if you order 50,000 of them as opposed to 50.
Now, this was the one I think
he's not making 500,000 shoes.
I don't know how many he made, but he said this was definitely the most. And he didn't expect it. Now, what makes it difficult, which he said, was each panel was dyed. Like, These are all separate pieces. They were all dyed separately. So it's not like a computer screen print color. They were all hand dyed, which makes both your pairs you get like individually different. Like, you're not going to get it. Every pair is a one of one, which...
I'm sure they still had a machine dip the panels.
I'm not saying like a man was sitting there, whatever, but like, it wasn't like a laser computer print over type thing. It wasn't like Nice Kicks tie-dye Ultra Boost. You look at them, clearly the material was like screen printed on, like laser that's not dye. They didn't tie-dye it. They didn't twist it or nothing like that. It's vibrant, but it's not vibrant enough. This one, you can tell. When I post that picture, it said no filter. No filter. These are vibrant, colorful, comfortable, and it came with extra laces. I mean, look, I ordered them joints in May. I got them joints in, what month is this? July. I mean, that's a good turnaround for something like that, all right? And look, man, the next colorway that's coming out, woo! Fire. Already showed me.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it wasn't on that card yet.
Maybe I shouldn't say, maybe I shouldn't have said he already showed me, but he already showed me.
Did you sign a
fire?
Did you sign an NDA?
Nah, that's why I can come over here and say it. That's why I come on. Oh, it come with navy blue laces too. The joints is fire, man. A lot of people picked them up, and I'm going to tell you something, man. If you're on the fence...
the shoe is nice. Like I said, the only downside is the price, but you have to do that.
But if you're on the fence about it, price is an issue for you. On the fence, order Mosh's sneakers. Them joints are fire. Like, I am loving having more than one pair. The colors are phenomenal. The shoe is phenomenal. It's an everyday single pair. Like, I love these joints. Like, I legit love these sneakers. They're fire. So shout out to Mosh for that, man. Shout out to Mosh for the conversation, too. Me and Mosh message back quite often, and he's going to be doing... I don't know if I should say this, but, like, the next pop-up will be Vegas. I said, ooh.
Oh, where he sells the next colorway.
Yeah, not the next one that's coming out next, but after that. And I was like, ooh.
That one or the next shoe?
No, same shoe, just a different colorway.
No, I know that. I'm saying, but I'm calling that the next shoe. I'm not saying the next model. I'm saying.
Oh, no. The next colorway, it's just going to be pre-order, and then the next one is going to be.
But it's not that one.
No.
Right.
So I don't know what that one looks like. He hasn't shown me anything like that, but I was like, man, we might have to hop into the Rango, B. Hit Vegas, B. Go.
I mean, you might as well.
Go shake some hands. Go shake some hands, B.
All right, yes.
Go smooth.
Scrap, what's the name?
Go smooth. So I'm
sure man will be there trying to hang out with Mosh.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Gigantic beard.
Releases, fam. What come out this week? B. Finally.
Some stuff.
Finally, a big thing this week.
Open. Some stuff came out today, or at least I guess skate shops had it today, or
that FTC joint. Yeah. I just don't understand that drop. Like, it's just randomly
back. Oh no, not today. Tomorrow. Sorry. Clot. I guess they're saying released today because just today people got their emails or whatever. So Clot, Air Max 1, Kiss of Death.
Whatever it's called, infrared?
Solar Red, yeah.
Oh, Solar Red.
South Beach 8 comes out tomorrow.
Ooh. Now look, explain to me the 90-minute thing. Is this... So...
Listen, I can understand where the Nike executives or whoever's making the decisions are like, 10 minutes is not long enough, but why didn't you just do like 30? Like 10 to 90?
Did you read that might be the reason, or are you just assuming that?
No.
Okay.
They sent a thing out today on the app, like an alert, and then people screenshotted it. And,
right. Oh, okay.
And then they wrote something on the thing.
Well, because everybody's like,
stupid.
Maybe that means we all get a pair, which... I don't know if that's a possibility or not all.
I thought I saw someone said that there's way fewer pairs than people think.
I heard that this is an extremely limited type thing. Like, I heard that it's like, good luck. Now, I don't know how many Manor got locally. Like, I didn't even try for that one. I don't know anybody locally who actually won the Manor one or said or posted or anything like that.
I don't know why it was like 2 weeks before or whatever, 3 weeks before the original release. Like, by the time I saw it on Instagram, it had already happened. I was like, this shoe doesn't come out for like a month.
And I saw... But, like, that came out overseas a ton of times at other places. Yeah.
Well, someone who listens to the show on Instagram got a pair from End, I think.
Oh, really?
Like last month or 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they came out a while, but they were supposed to come out. Like, 3 weeks ago on Nike, and they got pushed back to the 21st. So they were supposed to drop on, like, the 8th or 7th or something. I don't know. Look, are you trying to cop?
Yeah, but, I mean, before I know if I'm keeping it, I would have to open the box and look at it.
So it's a possibility.
I already know that I probably would never, ever wear the shoe just because it's gigantic. I mean, size 12 is gigantic.
Gigantic on me.
No, it's gigantic on any human unless you...
You don't take advantage.
You already know my standard is 6'5" or taller. That's my standard.
Okay.
Only people 6'5" can wear LeBron shoes or
That's
taller.
Not true.
Yes, or Jordan highs.
Okay, that's not true either.
Unless you wear it with pants.
Pants or shorts with it if you know how to wear it correctly. It's about proportions, all right? You're a bigger guy. You look just fine in them. I am an extremely short guy. They look crazy on me.
Trust me. You got to be 6'5".
The only reason I would buy these is just to have them.
Maybe 6'4".
Now, I guess it might, I don't say ridiculous, but when Nike basketball and that stuff faded away, I guess I shouldn't have sold them, but what was I going to do with them during that block of time when our pants were getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I was going to sit around with gigantic hiking boots? I mean, they're athletic Timberlands. Like, that's essentially what they are. The LeBron 8 South Beach is one of the most iconic colorways of all time, which we talked about before, but it was one of the most fake sneakers of all times, too. I remember people in camp-out lines would wear their fake to the camp-out line and see if people could... That color, that teal, aqua, whatever, is one of the most unique colors of all time on sneakers. You can't replicate that. Now, maybe they can now, but back then, nah. I'm going to try. More because I'm curious of the 90 minutes. If a lot more of us get this in this 90-minute block for whatever reason, maybe that means something. I saw somebody say that they're going to use this 90 minutes to really try to weed out auto cop bots, I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Which I said, okay, that makes sense. They're going to use an entire block of time to try to get those out of the queue before they do the random notifications or whatever.
Again, I don't know how you get from 10 to 90 unless 90 is some significant number that we don't know about. The other part of it is 90 don't matter if you keep releasing stuff at 7 a.m. West Coast time. Like, if you really are trying to give people a better shot, just release it at noon. And then you can still have it be 10 minutes or 30 minutes.
Because, I mean...
people on the East Coast are already awake, and then people on the West Coast will be awake.
It doesn't... The 7 a.m., it doesn't have to be at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
just because it may be 3 o'clock on the East Coast, don't mean it can't be noon. It doesn't matter. My thing is just, why this shoe? That's my thing. Like, out of all the sneakers, like, why not the Space Jam pack? It's LeBron, it's Space Jam, it's a box, it's a pack. Why the South Beach 8? No idea. What else come out?
I don't understand it.
Me neither.
FTC Dunk tomorrow.
Did you try raffles on that?
I think I did.
Each picture that drops,
Cowtown
they get whacker and
raffle.
whacker.
No, I don't think
they
so.
They are getting whacker and whacker with each pick.
I don't think so.
And those solar...
I mean, they're not fire, but they're better than the other one. And you wore it on purpose on Friday. But
you're right, because you had to see in person how fire they are, because you ain't seen them in a while.
Yes, I own them.
You owned them. You ain't seen them in a while.
I own them. I mean, it may not sound like past tense, but I'm saying owned.
The last time you owned them probably about 2-3 years ago. They came out in like 2016.
I sold them too low before the boom started back. So yes.
Yeah, of course, the boom.
So yeah, you're right. I sold them. The last time I owned them wasn't a long time ago, but I did own them for a long time.
The real estate boom.
They didn't come out in 2016. I think it's probably like 2014, because I don't think I don't think I copped the SB after 2014.
Yeah, maybe 2013, 14.
This says Yellow Strike Women's Dunk Low.
Probably a European drop.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think I saw it on sneakers.
There are way too many dunks coming out, man.
For some reason, this says $900. I don't know who or why I didn't want to pay $900 for that shoe, but okay. Stella McCartney coming out with something that looks like a Dior luxury shoe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at it. The silver looks stupid, but that literally looks like one of those shoes that like rappers wear.
Chanel or Christian Dior. Yeah. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Is that supposed to be Adidas?
I would assume so, but maybe not. Maybe Adidas.
Is that Ultra Boost? 'Cause that's a lot of boost on the bottom.
I don't think so.
Lord,
unless it's inside.
Them look like Alexander McQueen's.
So. That's what I'm saying. Well, he's kind of whack.
I'm about to buy some McQueen's. So.
No, you're not. LeBron 8 Space Jam is coming out.
Manner's doing first come, first serve on that.
Well, probably because they know how whack it is. If I notice that it's flipping, I'll probably try to get it. But other than that, I mean, pairs right now are $450.
Look,
but that doesn't mean
Hardwood Classic 8s sat at Manor, the blue and orange one.
I mean, it's just a movie thing.
Is it?
It's a movie.
It's a movie thing, but come on. Hardwood Classic 8s are was sought after, at least back in the day. What else?
The shoe that you keep talking about, you like it, but these ones are better. Off-white track spike looking shoes.
Well, you think these are better than the OG versions?
Yeah, these are the best ones.
But these are fire.
They're the best ones. Of all the ones that have looks like the track spikes, these are the best ones.
These are super duper fire. Now, some of the colors are kind of whack.
Then you should say they're better than the other ones if you think they're super duper
because
fire.
I think the other ones are super duper fire.
No.
Yeah, I do. They
It's
look
like
better
calling
with
Bow
pants.
Wow a legend. No, they're not.
No, those right there, I want to actually run in. The other ones, I don't.
No, you don't.
I want to see how fast I can run in those.
No, you don't.
I'm pretty confident I could run the 100 yards.
Go to the Olympics when everyone has COVID and has to go home. You can go sub in.
I'm going to tell you something I'm not looking forward to is the Olympics.
I was looking forward to do it until they said the first person in the thing got COVID, and basically that means everyone has it now because...
Wait, what?
The first person in the Olympic Village got it 2-3 days ago.
Oh, see, I haven't heard that. I talked to Lisa Rader this morning. They said that...
Fam.
I haven't heard
Olympics ain't happening.
All they keep talking about is people who ain't going yet who keeps getting it.
What's up with this sticker beast?
What's her name? The young 15, 16-year-old tennis player.
Yeah, she got COVID.
Yeah, she got it, but she wasn't there yet, though.
Listen, I understand the argument of someone they asked some guy the other day he's an Olympian. I don't know what he does, bicycling, track, whatever. I don't know. He said, "Oh no, I don't want to get the vaccine because it's so close to the Olympics. I don't want the vaccine to affect my performance." I understand the argument, but then the next person asked him a question, and he was like, "Well, I don't know if I'm ever going to get it." So those are two different things. You went from sounding kind of smart to being a moron. So I understand why Olympians might not get the vaccine because they're just kind of I'm 25 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. I don't need the vaccine. I can understand.
You kind of gave LeBron a hard time. Now, he's older.
Right.
And he is the same type of training body person type thing.
I think the Olympics is a different level of in shape than even the NBA. If we're being completely honest here. Someone who does the decathlon, fam, that's a different level of in shape than the but the same thing, there's cross country, there's
you right.
Some of them cats have 0%, 1% body fat. You're probably in better shape than an NBA, NFL, whatever player.
And look, if you want to add levels to shapeness, that's fine.
And the other part about I'm just saying, and the other part about the NBA, the Olympics is a lot of the sports, you got to be 16, 17, 18, because by the time you're 24, right. They forgot about you already. You're not relevant no more.
Yeah, but with the LeBron type situation in the vaccine, he is all year long.
But he's also LeBron. So when he says something, it gets out there. And when someone jabroni from the Olympics says something, no one hears about it.
Jabroni.
I'm just saying, if you say I don't know if I'm ever going to get the vaccine, you're just some jabroni who was in the Olympics. Congrats for making the Olympics, but
is Usain Bolt in this one? He's in this one too, right?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard he.
Yeah, he retired a long time ago.
Yeah, he did, but for some odd reason, I feel way before. Maybe it was before COVID. He was talking about.
I don't even think he ran in the last World Championships in 2019. I don't think he ran.
Remember? Maybe not.
I think 2017 he retired after those World Championships because Gatlin won the 100 final.
That's right. I need them off whites.
What was I going to say? Oh, so in Japan, I don't even know if we ever talked about this on the show. I don't remember. But in Japan, only 3% of their population is vaccinated. And I was texting with someone. I don't think it's that they don't believe in the vaccination. I think it's that literally their government didn't bother to buy any vaccine. I don't know if it's they feel like they're an island or whatever. Listen, we know Japanese culture is very strong in terms of nationalism.
Right.
They think they're the greatest people ever in human history. They don't it's probably harder to immigrate to Japan than any other country in the world. As much nationalism is going on in the United States of America right now because
right.
Ultra right-wing nationalists or whatever, Japan is probably the most, and Russia's like that too. Russia doesn't like anyone except their own people, but Japan is very strict, as advance of a society as it is with technology and fashion and all that kind of stuff. It's very conservative from a cultural nationalistic standpoint. You know what I mean?
I've been watching a lot of the Naomi Osaka stuff and talk about Japanese culture and stuff like that. And me and Rosie have been looking at it. It's very
her grandparents or whatever didn't approve of her parents being together at first.
Of course not.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was going on a tangent. But I think, no, someone did a poll of, and obviously it's similar to the polls done in the United States. You're not polling the entire country, but data scientists understand how sample sizes work, and they know that you don't need to survey 10 million people, to get an accurate number. I think for the entire world, I calculated this at some point just because I was looking up COVID things. But if you took the entire world's population and you wanted an accurate reading of what the world believes to 1% margin of error, you only need to poll 64,000 people. So in Japan, they obviously have a fairly small.
64,000 might be low.
No, it's not. Look, you can look it up. Trust me.
Because
so one standard deviation, 1%. It's 64,000 people.
When we do standard deviation stuff at work,
it's trust
64,000 for world population or U.S. population.
I'm pretty sure it was world, but it might be U.S.
It might be U.S.
But either
maybe
way,
if it's U.S. population, maybe world population 64,000.
I mean, it doesn't matter. There's 330 million people here. 64,000 is nothing. So like. You can. The point is, you don't need to go very far, and to do like 3 standard deviations and 3% margin of error, which is typical with a lot of these polls. Right. You don't need anyone. You need like 1,500 people out of like the entire world's population. Anyways, this tangent, but they did polling in Japan. 80% of the people don't want the Olympics because they're worried about COVID. So to me, that tells me that they would get vaccinated. I mean, in my line of thinking.
Well, I mean, a lot of them,
they just don't have access to it.
A lot of the commentary and stuff coming out of Japan is that they don't want it whatsoever. But the logistics of everything set up and already missing a year is one of the main issues with it. Now,
money is the main thing.
Money is the main thing, but also logistics and athletes. I mean, you just can't pick it up and move it. I mean, they didn't do that with them last year.
You can't do that. Now, but no, I'm saying money is the thing that's stopping them from just cutting it off altogether.
Now, I haven't any commentary coming out of Japan or anything media-wise about the vaccine. I've never heard a reason of like why. Not even like we don't have it, we don't do it, we don't want it. It just sounds like no one understands why. It's how it comes across as. Like, now...
Well, the government, I think, believes different than the citizenry does. And, I mean, that shouldn't surprise anyone because that's how most countries are. But I think the government is a lot more strict, conservative, whatever, than their actual, like, citizenry is. I think the citizenry, like I said, like 80% or 85% or whatever the poll was, didn't want the Olympics because they were worried about COVID, but then the government didn't order any vaccine for anyone.
Now, I haven't all the stuff, the information and stuff that's coming out regarding what's happening with the Olympics in Japan. I haven't seen none of it coming from Japanese people. Like,
well, right, we don't. Yeah, I mean, we get our media from like Reuters. Or
yes,
AP
but I mean, like,
they're all
it all sounds like speculation to me when it's coming from so and so that flew there.
The polls not because they're polling Japanese
the polling number
people,
is fun, but like they're not speaking to a Japanese. Right. I don't get to hear from a Japanese citizen or scientist their thoughts on it, which I just obviously assume was just definitely not part of their ways. They're not going to sit there and get on TV and tell us, I guess, or anybody. I don't know.
I don't think the Olympics are happening, but that's just me.
Oh, you don't think it's going to happen at all?
Nah.
Oh, really? Well,
because of what's already happened. They already had the first case. I mean, today they admitted whoever's in charge of the Japanese Olympic Committee, I think, admitted that they were like, we still can cancel this because cases are going up in the Olympic Village. We're already not allowing fans and spectators to enter the country. But if we allow athletes in and journalists in and everybody starts getting sick, like, you can't really...
I would hate for it to get canceled, but I honestly feel like it should get canceled. Like,
I'm excited. I get excited for the Olympics every year, just like I do World Cup. Well, every 4 years, whatever. Just like the World Cup, March Madness, whatever else. I love track and field. I love swimming. And I actually do watch some of that stuff.
I watch all of it. Rowing.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
I watch it all. When the Olympics come around, March Madness come around, every single TV that's on in my house has that on it. I don't care. Every Olympic channel, I don't care if swimming's on one channel, swimming's in that room. The rowing in that room. Whatever they're doing, shooting, I'll be watching them cats shooting them rifles and stuff. They win a gold medal, nobody cares, but like that stuff is tight. Like that stuff is dope to me.
Well, we're not done with releases yet.
Oh yeah, what else?
So Off-White track spikes.
Fire. I need the black or the pink, the white and red.
Jordan 12 retro twist. I mean, I think it looks kind of like a rising sun, I guess, but it's whack, so I don't think anyone cares about that.
Jordan 12 has fallen significantly on like the fire Jordan list. Jordan 12.
No, because playoffs and taxis are still fire.
There's only 3: playoffs, taxis, and flu games. And the only 3 that matter in the pantheon of 12.
They still matter.
Nah. There's a lot more whack 12s than there are fire ones.
What? Let me see what the calendar switch.
Twist.
Okay.
Man, come on, man. They couldn't think nothing.
All right, so that's it, pretty much.
Twist. Appreciate about like us who like to subscribe to this podcast. And this is something I added to the thing, and we obviously talked about it in a text message thread or whatever, but I got a lot of people sending me that clip of DJ Clark Kent. Somebody had posted, I think it was Rico, I posted, what's your favorite episode?
Yeah, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Okay, it's not the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. That's hyperbole, but it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Rico had posted or somebody asked Rico, what's your favorite thing this episode, something like that. I got probably about 40-ish DMs, obviously Dion Point episode and Clark Kent episode. Clark Kent won because they said it was so awkward. Like somebody was commenting on the Clark Kent video today. They were just like, man, he just would have opened up more. And I was like,
opened up more.
Look. So basically what took place, and I'll explain this. And one thing I want to try to get better at on this podcast is
interviewee ever
setting it up better. But so DJ Clark Kent was on the Complex Sneaker Podcast.
Respectfully, I won't pay resale for anything.
But okay, let me just pose a hypothetical.
Don't pose a hypothetical. I will not. Okay, go ahead. Pose your hypothetical.
Okay, so the shoe costs around $2,000 at retail.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wanted to sell it to you for $2,200 and you really want that shoe,
if it's $2,000, then it really was like $2,300. So I'll pay $2,200. I'll pay $2,300.
would you pay $4,000?
No way.
$3,000.
The shoe costs $2,000. You can add your tax. I'll pay that.
But outside of that, not happening.
Listen, here's something I know, and I'm extremely comfortable with it. I can't win them all.
Right.
So with that, I'm cool. I might have wanted them. I didn't get them. I'm cool. Like, what happened to me because I didn't get them? Something I made sold $422,000.
And I'm gonna put verbally the clip in the audio so you guys can hear it. And a lot of people said this to me, like I said, and it's obviously when it's DJ Clark Kent, he's giving some type of view or opinion on something, like whatever. The clip basically, what it said was about him paying resale or whatever. And I'm just gonna I don't know what the term is. What is it? Not, preface, whatever. He basically said, respectfully, I won't pay resale for anything.
Right.
They asked.
I think he told us the same thing.
Did he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
And then he said, and then he asked
and then you asked him, because that whole question sounded familiar when what's the name asked him, and he was like, I'll just miss it. Like, I'm pretty sure you asked him the same question, and he just like, I'll just miss it. Yeah. He was like, yeah, I can make phone calls and like get stuff when I want it, but if I miss it, I'm fine with it. That was definitely talked about.
But I don't know if it was about resale though. I think it was about DJ Clark Kent have to work to get sneakers, and he was saying that he does sneakers that just like us.
We asked him more than one thing.
You're right. And basically they asked him a hypothetical, asking him like if the sneaker was like $2,000 and somebody wanted $2,200 for it, would you pay it? He said he would pay.
Oh, because of tax.
He would pay the $2,200 or even $2,300 because of tax or whatever, but absolutely not to $3,000, $4,000, whatever. He said he can't win them all. Now, like I said, I don't know a single person, and I don't know a single person. This might just be people who love our show. I don't know, but I don't know a single person who thought what he said made sense or whatever. And when I got it, the first thing that I thought was, when he came on our podcast, when he told me that if you ain't paying retail, you don't want it, because we said it was week 13s, and I said, they all right, if they go on sale, I might do it. And he said, you don't pay retail, you don't want it. And it was like, what? Because we're speaking from two different tax brackets of financial whatever. I'm assuming. I don't know, because he might be the only DJ I don't think I've ever seen in my entire life DJ. I've seen DJ Pauly DJ more than I've seen DJ Clark Kent actually DJ. I'm not even joking. I've never seen him DJ. I've never seen him on the ones and twos.
I mean, yeah, probably in the 80s.
I know he
90s.
has. I've never seen it. But this goes back to when I was talking about Republican sneakerheads and stuff like that. I have a real issue with somebody discussing, having opinions like he does on something that they wouldn't do due to the fact that, like he said, like you know, like we know, and like he discussed on his podcast, that he'll wear a shoe and give it away one time. And the fact that, like, you can call a Dion point, because I see him all the time on social media. Yo, Dion, you killed these. I know he didn't pay for those. Or if he did pay for them, Dion, write to him, whatever the case may be. I
wouldn't be surprised if he paid for stuff, but he's just paying retail.
Pay for it,
he's
whatever. Pay for it or get seated, whatever the case may be.
I can see him being arrogant, like, no, you're not going to give me something free. I'm going to pay you. You know, I can see him
like that too. And I could definitely see him.
He's a weird person, huh? I'm gonna get my statement in, but go ahead.
Like, I have a real problem with people who have the ability to get and do whatever they want in this, and then have the opinions on what others shouldn't be doing or what they're doing. Really want. Look, am I paying $3,000 for something? Absolutely not. But really want to me is like when I paid $500 for Sakai's.
Yes,
okay,
we ain't financially to the point where $3,000 you could just drop it and put it on your foot.
No, but also when you're able,
I don't think 99% of the people aren't to that point.
No. But like you said, like, even if I was, so like taking a lot of losses, taking a loss for DJ Clark Kent is not the same if we take a loss, because a victory to me can subdue losses in the future. If somebody came with it, yo, I got y'all on Fragment Travis Scott ones, the lows, we'd be like, yo, that's fire. If we got those, pay retail, whoever you wanted, and we got those, cool, we good. If I lost the next 5 things, 10, 15 things, it wouldn't even matter to me, because I done got something that is considered the hot fire of the year. So it doesn't have the same effect as it does on me. If a DJ Clark Kent miss on something, it's irrelevant, because he can get any single thing he wants, typically in a matter of seconds. Yo, I need these joints. Now, whether he makes a decision to call or not ask or whatever, that's on him. But I'm getting sick and tired of these, like, you know, it goes back to sneaker media, not publication. Because everyone's like, yo, publication is written magazine. Okay, thank you. All right, sneaker media. You know what? You go and say what you want to say, because I don't want to say I don't like him. I don't.
Oh, I don't. But I said that a long time ago. That didn't change my opinion on that. The entire thing is goofy. The entire thing started with, would you pay resale? And he's so arrogant that by the time of the end of the line, he's talking about how his own shoe sold for $120,000. And
they're talking about that pizza shoe, right?
Like, what are you talking about? He's asking you, would you buy a random shoe for whatever? And you're like, you scoffed at the idea of paying resale, but your mind is so twisted and baked into the fact that how arrogant you are that you had to, like, end the statement by like pumping yourself up. The whole thing was absolutely absurd to me, that he could be like, oh no, I refuse to pay retail, and then by the end of the thing be talking like it's narcissism at his finest, at his highest level. He's literally a psychopath. That's literally what he is. He's a psychopath. You went from being asked, would you buy someone else's shoe or a shoe, to talking and scoffing at the idea and then talking about yourself. You are a grade A wacko.
I will never understand.
He's the weirdest person. I mean, and we know a lot of weird people through doing this. He's a weird person.
But you know what's funny is, I was like, you know what? It made me look at all those platforms and stuff like that that use their platform and keep giving to these same people. DJ Clark, I made a list of individuals that I feel like we don't need. And you can say this to a lot of people, but DJ Clark Kent might be at the top of the list of sneaker opinion on culture or thought we just don't need anymore. Like,
to me, when was it? I guess for me, like,
there was at one point.
I don't know if any of these opinions of him or Ben Baller or any of these cats are ever been relevant.
They're on my list, but they were. Because,
not to me.
No, not to you, because during that point in time, when their opinions probably mattered, I don't know how heavy we were into, like, the internet. Sneakers, yeah. But, like, the only thing I can remember starting is when DJ Clark Kent and Russ Bankson had a show similar to ours, and it was called, what, Quick Strike?
That's what I was going to bring up, is following Russ on Twitter. I mean, I shouldn't say knowing. I don't know Russ. But following Russ on Twitter, he is 180 degrees opposite personality of Clark Kent. So how did you deal with, like, y'all supposed to be best friends or still friends or whatever? How do you deal with that dude? I just don't. How do you deal? Like, I would ask someone who's good friends with Kanye the same question. Like,
100%.
How do you deal with somebody who just all they think about is themselves all day long? Like, you can ask them. It was like he was bothered during that interview. Like, you didn't have to go to Full Size Run and do the interview. You didn't have to come on our show. You so bothered to like do this stuff,
definitely bothered.
And then you go and you scoff at everything. Like,
look,
you got regular people. Complex Man, I'm sure he got a little bit more money than he did when they first started the show. Because who was the interviewer? Mustache Man.
Dunn?
Yeah.
Brooks?
So I'm sure Brooks.
Whichever. Which ones?
So I'm sure just off of being on that show, his contract with Complex is a little bit better than it was when they started.
Oh, yeah,
like, he probably makes a decent living. I know they live in New York City, it's expensive or whatever. And they get a lot of shoes free. Now, I don't think any of them is rich by any means. Like,
the list of individuals that like still have these voices
he's another
in it.
Self-promoter.
Look, here's my list. DJ Clark Kent. It's over. He had a period of time. It's over. I don't need his opinion.
So before you do that list, let me just say, like, look at the difference of how, like,
and I mean sneakers.
Look at the difference of how a Deion Point acts. Even when he comes on a show where he don't know us from Jared, he don't know us from the whole hole in the ground. Look at how someone who like that acts, personable, telling stories, friendly, respectful, all the adjectives or adverbs or whatever you want to use to describe someone. And then look how some of these other cats act. And I would say Deion Point is probably a celebrity at this point in sneaker culture.
Is an icon in sneaker culture.
Now, he's not a Clark Kent level celebrity outside of sneaker culture where, like, other people will know who Clark Kent is who won't know who Deion is. But still.
And see, that's the point I'm trying to make. This list has nothing to do with what you do outside of here.
Right.
If Clark
but what
Kent
I'm saying
wants to
is,
talk
like,
hip-hop, Jay-Z, career, coming from the bottom to the top, I'm for that.
If one person can act like that, everyone can act like that.
Deion,
like, you know what I mean?
Deion Point is responsible for some of probably the greatest sneakers of all time in the history of sneakers. And let me put it this way, not just a or a few, a grip of sneakers and still making stuff. DJ Clark Kent, one because look, and this is anything else they got to talk about besides sneakers, I'm all for it. DJ Clark Kent, Mayor.
Clearly, like, Ben Baller knows about jewelry, but I don't need to hear him talk about sneakers. I just don't.
Mayor, when the number one thing about Mayor is, what does he do or who is he?
He's known for sneakers.
Fat Joe. Fat Joe is still living off the fact he licked the bottom of a shoe. Fat Joe is a hip hop legend to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay. I agree with that.
Conceded.
Well, because Fat Joe started a record label and a squad and whatever else. Like,
Squad,
the difference
Big
between
Pun,
him and
Remy Ma,
sure,
Cuban Links,
and he found talent. Like, there's a difference between him and Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow then started
dramatically,
whatever you want to call it,
an empire.
Exactly.
I will listen to Fat Joe tell a story about anything. I mean, Fat Joe has some of the greatest interviews I've ever listened to in my life. I mean, fam, some of the stuff you'd be like, I can't even believe that's happened to you. Fire. Conceited. I mean, come on, man. I don't know if Conceited still battle raps or is he just on wilding out, but I am not interested in the Conceited opinion anymore whatsoever on sneakers. Lil Yachty, one, because he's from that era of, like, where being dumb is fire.
I just look at Lil Yachty as a child to me. I don't care
but
what
that's the problem I have with it. Because, like, if you put somebody like a Lil Yachty on a platform...
Lil Nas X is funny, but I don't care what Lil Nas X says about sneakers. I just think the stuff that he says is funny.
Well, not sneakers, but if Lil Nas X had an opinion on something that he's knowledgeable on, I would listen to any day of the week. I'm not listening to... Lil Yachty isn't knowledgeable on sneakers or anything else. That I'm like, I mean, I thought that dumb talk, he's from that era. I used to get on my oldest, Oscar, about that, like, that dumb teenage thing. It took this block of time where all the teenagers are like, just like, I mean, I don't know, all the time. I'll talk to Oscar, it was always like I mean, that's how Yachty is. Jim Jones, he's just not knowledgeable. You want to talk to me about Dipset, hip hop, all that stuff? Like, all ears. Yeah. But you're not knowledgeable in sneakers. Bun B.
Oh, yeah, he still calls shoes by the...
He's just the black and white joints.
Yeah.
Nah. Jim Jones, Bun B.
Bun B probably knows more than the majority of the people you named.
He
off.
might know more, but your
same
time
thing with
is up.
DJ Greg Street. DJ Greg Street is like an authority on
facts, but he doesn't get on. I don't.
Yeah, he's nowhere.
You keep calling Clark Kent.
I mean, he's probably like. But see,
that may be his decision.
See, that's the thing is like Greg Street acts probably how Clark Kent should act, where he is not out there. He don't do nothing. He's probably like richer than a lot. He's probably richer than anyone knows because he got not just. I'm not saying richer from selling shoes, but like clearly he ain't getting all that free. So he spent a lot of money on shoes, and he still got a nice house and money and whatever else. Like Greg Street's doing well for himself. And people in sneakers know who DJ Greg Street is, but you don't see him out here doing.
I don't see him on. Yeah. Now he might decline. They might ask. They might, but like you just don't see him. Allen Iverson is another person. Allen Iverson it's Allen Iverson. Basketball stories, all that. I need to hear Allen Iverson on Sneaker Complex podcast, full size run and stuff, talk about sneakers. The only thing I want to hear from Allen Iverson is why Reebok is so whack now. If you're not asking Iverson stuff like that, I don't care.
I want to hear him tell like hood stories, but
yeah, hood stories, basketball stories, coming up from college. I mean, come on. Currency, I know weed. If I smoke weed, danks, old whips and stuff, awesome. But wearing Air Force Ones and stuff like that all the time, that shit, whatever, man. Nate Robinson, another one. He got knocked out by Paul Logan, Jake Paul, Paul George, George Washington Carver, George Wilkes, George Martin. He got knocked out by everybody, all right? Ben Baller, definitely a person. He has way too much opinion on sneakers in my... Period. Now, I don't know him from Nike Talk days. I don't know him from any of those where, like, people say he kind of came up as an authority. No. His opinions are way too strong to me in sneaker community stuff. DJ Khaled. I mean, he's a mascot. I mean, where's he at now? Like, he got used. Nick Young is not here around. And that's about it. Oh, on the clock. 2 people on the clock. PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's on the clock only because he's still in the league and he's obviously coming out with his own Kobe Bryant collaborations, whatever. And Jeff Staple. Jeff Staple's definitely on the clock. You can only ride so long on the wave of pigeons, fam. Like, you can only take it so far. He dropped the OG pigeon, a black pigeon, and a panda pigeon. You can only ride that wave so far, and any discussions I have with you or anybody has with you about sneakers, it can't be about how, man, boy, that was crazy with the OG pigeon drop. It's over, B.
Yeah.
Deion Point, to me, is like here. Jeff Staple is like here, B. Because Jeff Staple, I mean, Deion Point is still making stuff that's fire. Not as fire as maybe some of the past stuff, but you can't tell me that it's not in him still. Pause. It's coming. Pause. Like, stuff's gonna drop.
And also, again, he's not a self-promoter who's out there doing, that's probably the best way to put it. But the only, not exception, but I'm just going to add one caveat to the list. There are 2 names that you said that, to me, are lesser on the scale. I don't want to hear Mayer talk about anything, to be completely honest, because he's annoying to me. But I will say at least he knows sneakers as opposed to the majority of the people.
Right, that's fine.
And also, Houston Rocket / Bucks man. What's his name? No.
Oh, Gucci Mane?
No. Basketball player, man. You just said.
Peter Tucker.
Yeah. Peter Tucker at least knows it. Now, I don't want to hear him talk about anything because he's annoying too. Just like, well, I guess he's not annoying like Mayer, because Mayer, I don't like how Mayer talks. I don't like his actions. I don't like anything. But at least he's knowledgeable. So if he's saying something, I respect him, the ability for him to say something.
Oh, no.
I don't respect most of the people on the list ability to say anything because they don't know anything.
I have any of the people who have know their sneakers in this list. I have respect for you knowing and at some point in the past being some type of voice on a platform, writing articles, whatever the case may be, blogs, I don't care. Now, Mayer, he knows his stuff. I've heard you here, heard you here, heard you here, heard you here, heard you. It's enough. You've already said enough. What more could you possibly say about sneakers? And obviously, this isn't just me, you. Everybody's like, who did he rap? Yeah. What does he do? And I ain't count nobody's pockets and nothing like that, but what puts you into this position of having everything and driving? I don't know. My curiosity, because I've never heard a Mayer interview of like, how to come up.
I think he was a DJ or something at some point.
Oh, he was?
But no one knows.
Man, I thought he was maybe a real mayor. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he does, man. What else we talking about?
A real mayor.
I know I didn't put this on the thing, but nice kicks in eBay joined forces. I don't know if you know what any of that means. It says that they an exclusive aftermarket retail partnership.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it.
Do you know what that means? Because I feel like every time we come on this
a lot of stuff is happening like that, too. Like, even, okay, I understand I bring up cards a lot, but, like, even in the card world, a company that is known as the main grading company just bought an auction house. So, like, same thing with sneakers.
They bought an entire auction house?
Yeah, I mean, not a big one, but, like...
Well, I mean... buying an auction house is kind of like a...
I mean, not Sotheby's. I mean, just an auction house for cards. Relax.
I mean, I doubt they bought like one in the farmlands. Like,
all right.
Where's it at? Is it like New York City?
I don't know. At Golden
That's
Auctions,
kind of a big deal.
They're known. Golden Auctions are known in cards, but I don't think they're known. I don't think they do anything besides. Anyways, so I think a lot of this stuff is happening where like companies that, and in this instance, I don't think either one bought the other, but you know, it's like, because obviously what you call it can't buy it. eBay can buy everyone, but a lot of these things are happening that like it maybe sounds kind of cool. And maybe everything is above board, but you can look at it from a standpoint of like some of this might be kind of shady a little bit. That's not how I look at it. That's just how I've seen people discussing on social media, like with cards. If the number one grading company also owns an auction house, they have an incentive to grade certain cards a certain way and other cards not a certain way. If you're not putting it with that auction house, are they going to give you a bad grade? So I've heard both points. Is like one point is just that. Guess what? Now they don't need to ship the card back to you, that you can just put it up for auction if your plan was to sell it from the beginning. So it's kind of like Goat. Goat has the locker where you just leave it in Goat locker and you sell it. So yeah, so like it kind of makes
like
sense.
That's speculation, or that's like something they're talking about?
No. That's the one version of the point that I've seen that someone makes. They're hoping that's what it is, and then I've seen the other one that thinks it's like kind of shady that they're doing business. So I can see both points is what I'm saying. So with this eBay thing, I can see the commentary where someone might think it's shady business or whatever, Nice Kicks partnering with a resale platform. But then I can also see the other point where, like, you buy something from Nice Kicks, maybe they just list it for you if your entire point was to... Now, I get that people in the sneaker industry... No, I'm saying, like, I get that people in the sneaker industry are, like, hate resellers or whatever it is. Right. But, like... If you're partnering with eBay, what else are you doing? You're doing it for a resale platform. So, like, maybe someone buys a shoe from Nice Kicks and they just automatically list it for you on eBay.
See, I saw a lot of the comments and stuff like that, and I saw a lot of people that, like, blue checks, you know. I saw a lot of people in there like, yo, all this kind of stuff.
And I'm tired of that one cat, too, by the way, the one I sent you. He's a nerd, huh? And I don't even know anything about him. I'm just tired of seeing him on social media.
Do you sit in the thread?
Oh, yeah. What's the name on Nike pickups or whatever, by the way?
Who?
See ya, man.
Nike pickups?
See the thing where, like, whatever sneakers is now doing the thing where it's like your grail. You haven't seen that?
No.
They ask people about their grail or whatever. I think he was on there.
Impossible.
Go look at it. If it's not him, it looks just like him.
Nah, impossible. I highly doubt that.
Go to the last one. Maybe not the last pickups one or whatever.
I mean, if he didn't post it on his page, it definitely didn't happen because he posts everything.
Oh, let me look it up then. But that man was on there, that fetish head or whatever. I don't like him. No.
And he was on what? Oh yeah, I know who you talk about. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I just don't like people.
I'm not saying I don't like him.
I don't like. It's not that I don't like him because I don't know anything about him. I just don't like when people come basically out of nowhere and act like they're like an authority on the industry. Like, who are you? I'm not saying I'm authority on the industry. But who are you?
Are you talking about this What You Got?
No, there's one that's like
that's the problem that I have with it. And that comes with social media. Somebody will post something on social media that actually takes off and goes maybe viral or something like that, and then all of a sudden everything they says that comes out of their mouth, they feel like it matters every single time.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't see nothing. I see this icons. They put a lot of girls on the icons.
Let's see. I know there's a thing that's like it's like your grail or something, like where you explain how you got your grail.
All I see is them skateboard jerseys and stuff are fire. They need to drop them joints.
Maybe if you click on...
They need to quit playing. They dropped them kids joints today. FCT Talk Shop. Fam, I don't got time to be fooling around with all these alerts on videos and nonsense.
Grail Tales. Let's see. It's right here. Good. All right. That's not him?
No.
Yeah, I thought that was him. Who is that?
On ribs. I don't know who that is. That's probably Mayor. I don't know who that is.
I mean, don't he look just like him?
Man, he look like every Dominican, Puerto Rican in New York City. Like, that do not look like him. His beard, it looks like him. No, it doesn't. You don't know what it looks like.
Obviously, you're right. I thought that was him.
Oh, look. I feel like every week we come on this podcast, some company join forces with another company, and we don't see any results of it or know what any of it means. Gulp parked it up with Foot Locker. JD Sports parked it up with Foot Action or Foot Finish Line.
Well, I think that was like, what would you call it? Acquisition or whatever. I think they're actually a company now.
Anything that happens, I don't know. This doesn't mean a single thing to me because eBay is all over Complex. eBay presents Complex podcast, sneaker podcast. Like eBay to me is just out here doing every single thing they possibly can except listen to what we want. We're sick and tired of people lying and scamming on eBay. We need a sneakers exclusive eBay app because it just makes it a lot easier and people need their product and shoes a lot faster. You can go out here and advertise and get your name out there and blow up as big as you want, but if you can't meet the demand of what you're asking of the public, I don't care. I don't need a Nice Kicks collaboration, whatever partnership. Now, in my mind, I thought that'd be kind of crazy if like Nice Kicks collaborations drop on eBay for retail, but drop on eBay. That'd be kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, but what would it serve though? What's the point?
Just a partner, just different. Like it wouldn't make a difference. Yeah. It'd be just different. Like if because you know what? I'll put it this way. Anything new like that,
smoke in here right
anything
now.
New like that,
Lord.
People ride with it. If they would have said all the Ultra Boost tie-dyes that just dropped, which are fire, if they would have said exclusively drop on eBay, people would do it just to participate on eBay, just to do so.
Nice Kicks had a 12.5 and free shipping, I would buy it. If y'all trying to charge $25 for shipping or whatever nonsense it is from Austin, Texas to Phoenix, and I'm not paying $25 shipping or whatever y'all are asking. No.
Look, they have a 10, and when it gets down to 108,
send me a 12.5.
All right, I'll be there.
And I won't argue with nerd anymore. With social media nerd.
eBay is just out here.
I haven't argued with them in a while, but he's
who?
geek. Some Nice Kicks geek.
Oh, Nice Kicks. This is the thing. eBay is the king. They're the upper echelon of business. They treat Nice Kicks and them like influencers. Like, why eBay go get these influencers to be like, look at me, I copped a sneaker off eBay. Boy, that was easy transaction. I feel bad when I see those videos because I be sitting here like, come on, fam. Like, relax. They be like, yo, grab these off eBay. Crazy, came fast.
Geek but if you stuff is what sells these days. Right. That's the only thing that makes sense.
But none of those people can get you to cop off eBay. Like, there is not a single person, not even a brand new sneakerhead. You either know about eBay or not. The brand new sneakerhead plays on Mercari, Grailed, OfferUp, Craigslist. That's where they play. They don't play on eBay and stuff like that. You can't have a person like Lil Laces. Shout out to Lil Laces. Love her. Laura, great person. Need her back on the podcast. But she can't convince me to cop off eBay. Yo, grab these off eBay. This is crazy. She can't. Not to me. Not to a new person.
Well, no one can convince me.
Now, of course not. Now, if eBay uses an entire platform like Nice Kicks as an influencer, you might be able to do something. Maybe. Because you just treated Nice Kicks their own business worth probably evaluated over millions and millions of dollars as well, because it's a very highly platform with over millions of followers.
Yeah, their social media stuff is bigger than their actual
their stores,
brick and mortar stuff, or whatever.
So it's like, you know what? You're just gonna pump all our eBay stuff through you guys because you guys have the voice, which to me is like eBay just takes the easy route out, which I'm not mad at because if eBay said we wanted a show, cool. I am all for people like eBay using people who already established something versus trying to start their own. Like I said, Nice Kicks, BR, every single sneaker publication, platform, media thing has tried their own podcast and they've all failed. Instead of going to somebody who is consistent, gonna do it, and just putting money into that,
well, they also have,
and also do it.
They also have hosts who aren't entertaining.
Facts.
I mean,
so that's
now, whatever that one you sent me the other day, or no, today. Now, them cats actually might be kind of funny.
No.
I don't know.
Watch them do stand-up. One of them is funny.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. One of them is funny.
Only the ones that Nike got to do the sneakers
I don't understand them.
Beach Boys, not funny. Now, them cats you sent today who obviously, one of them cats, or them cats might be funny. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I need to watch more.
Fam. First of all, just to set up what we're talking about. And that's Nice Kicks eBay thing, whatever, man. I don't know. eBay, do your thing. You're just going to use Nice Kicks platform to
Well, the
push
biggest
your
news
stuff.
of the day clearly is what them cats named their show. All right. And the dudes on the show may not even know and may not have nothing to do with it. I'm sure they don't. I'm sure it was someone who was searching internet or someone who knew about us for years and was like, yo, do this.
I give BR Kicks hell on social media every single week. They never respond to me. One person did and was talking reckless and then hit me with the, you know what, you can have a good day. You know when you get bothered when you actually get some type of reaction out of something bigger type of platform or whatever, and they hit you with the, you know what, you have a nice day. We appreciate the interaction. I seen Hatfield from Nice Kicks all through the comments. Yo, I appreciate your comment, like, and interaction.
On what? About eBay?
One of the eBay things or one of the things. Look, so somebody tagged us on Twitter and said, boy, that's close, or something like that.
And it was a promo for a new show.
It's a promo for a what is it?
It looked like a sketch comedy show, but it has to do with sneakers, obviously.
A promo for a sneaker sketch comedy called Sneak This. Okay. You will never convince me that's not either a jab.
Oh, it has to be.
It has to
but
be.
But I'm gonna. It's honestly because we always like you say something and you be like blah 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 and you be like suck these or suck this or whatever. I think they literally. It's kind of funny. They took the word that literally is like, you'll say something and be like kiss these or whatever, kiss this. I think that's funny that they actually took that word this because we say it a lot. Or I do at least.
Yeah.
I think that might be something there.
Bam. You will not tell me that they didn't, that something, a jab or something weird. Like you said, they might not have nothing to do with it.
The people on the show, yeah.
Fam, if you're creating an entire new thing, a sneaker sketch comedy, which I don't think has ever existed. I don't know if there's ever been a sneaker sketch comedy. Either way, it's going to be something that fades away just like everything else. Remember when...
I don't know what the name means, by the way. It's kind of stupid. So it has to be a...
So when Foot Locker... remember Foot Locker was doing that like goofy app stuff, skits, and it was like all them...
It went away.
What'd it do? Fade away. This right here, fade away. Now I was like, you know what? I'm going to look up the comedians because they tagged them. I looked up the Jamel. I should have wrote his name. Jamel something. I looked up him up. Not funny. He does a lot of weird comedy. Like I watched him do a stand-up about butt plugs. I was like, nope, not for me. Now I watched the other guy, and I seen the other guy before on like Fallon. Like he be on stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty funny. He's a funny guy. He's one of them awkward comments that be like, so yesterday I was, I still get bullied. And, even as an adult, I get bullied. It's one of those things.
Dry
like,
humor.
yeah, that like dry and how he stands like, it's crazy. But some of the stuff was funny. Like, he had a joke about being like 70% water, whatever. So I got nothing against them because they're just doing their thing. Whatever.
And also, shout out to like actual stand-up comedians because I'm not confident that I would be able to like write material. Like my thing is like come up with stuff on the fly, not write a set and go on, do stage and do comedy. No, so I don't think I don't think I could do stand-up comedy because I'm not writing a set in advance. Like my thing is like we all in the thing.
But you could do a sketch.
No, I know, but that's my thing is like we all in the thing and it's like ad lib. That's why this show is good,
right?
But. So what my point is, like, shout out to people who have the ability to write comedy 100%. And go on stage and do stand-up comedians. But you got to keep in mind, like, Joe Budden is not a stand-up comedian.
No.
Rory's not a stand-up comedian. Maul's not a stand-up comedian. But guess what? When you put them three cats together, it's funny.
And that's because it's a natural interaction thing, and they've known each other for a long time. A lot of them shows that you talked about, and Nike... Their shows on Nike app or whatever these things are, sneakers, it seems like they said, you. Let's see what you can do. There's no kind of interaction. It's weird. It's awkward. It's just unbearable to watch.
Well, so that one man who's on that Beach Boys or whatever used to work at Round 2. So I don't understand... The one who's like at the mic with is he a singer or playing a...
I don't know what he is.
Banjo?
I thought he was...
I only watched the first one. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wait, there's more than one?
Oh yeah, there's episodes every week or whatever.
Oh, I only
episode
watched that
like
first
5
one.
or
It
whatever
was too
today.
bad. It was way too bad.
It's one of the worst
Plus,
things ever.
I didn't know if it was about sneakers or music.
The camera angles from I don't know if they switched anything up from episode 1. The camera angles are one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. But anyways, that man, we used to work for Round 2. So I don't know what he did to go. Is Beach Boys Beach House a company?
I don't know what any of that stuff is, man.
You were an employee in a resale store, and now all of a sudden you like a big actor, not actor, but you know what I mean. Like now you're like a personality or whatever you would call it. I don't get it.
I don't like shows that don't have a purpose. Like, is this show to like provide us with the latest sneaker news? Or is this?
Oh no,
just
they got that too. And that's the other thing about sneakers.
Out?
Everyone on sneakers who hosts something is British.
You said that, and I never noticed that.
What is it with Nike and British cats doing hosting on sneakers?
Every time when you said that in the text
there was one the other day when she was like talking to Laylee May. The person was British. Why?
When you put that in the thread, and I was like. I was like, every single show, these cats is from like the UK or wherever, London, and I never noticed that.
Nike is the weirdest company ever. Like their whole identity when they started the company was like, we're Oregon track and field. Like you guys are literally Oregon, Portland, Oregon, or Beaverton or whatever you want to say, and y'all do more international goofiness. Like you have exclusives that release in China that people in your home country can't get. We talk about that all the time. You have hosts
all the time.
You're always putting people on a like platform who, and I'm not trying to make this like something where United States of America is the best, but fam, your company is from the United States. It's not like your company's from like New York City and y'all got like the biggest melting pot ever. Fam, your company is from Beaverton, Oregon.
I don't understand. I thought it was more of like an international. Once you said that, I was like, maybe they just like international reach, but like you're not really internationally reaching it. Everybody's always in England. Like I was like, you're not like, the next person isn't from like New Delhi or like you're not reaching. And in Australia, it's always England.
There's some funny people from UK too, but like for the most part, they ain't entertaining. I don't get it. Like
funny
them cats
people from the UK.
It's not easy to when you're say you're like on sneakers or whatever. It's not easy to host a show. Like here, we don't have an audience or whatever, so like it's a little bit more comfortable. So obviously, them people from the UK. But like, if you're not like an entertaining person. Why are you on the internet to begin with in that manner?
It makes me wonder how they are when they're not on the show. That's my thing. Like, but you know what? I always try to give them the benefit of the doubt that like Nike or whomever is like tone it down or whatever. Like, because people come off so dry and stale on this stuff that I'm just like,
well, that's one of the reasons why I first started talking about Full Size Run, because it's not entertaining whatsoever.
Right, like,
the best part about the show, I told you a long time ago, was literally the editor. And you said you disagreed, but the editor doing all those funny things where they like zoom in and put like words on the screen, that's the only reason that makes the show better. If your best man is your editor, your show is not good.
See, I always thought that made it bad to me. I never thought that was the best part. But like, I understood that's what made people watch it. Like, it'd be like, oh, look, mustache. Like, all that weird stuff. I was like, okay.
I don't know. Some of it's over the top. But those three people are not entertaining people to the point where they should have a show.
And I don't even want to turn this into, like, trashing them or host anybody like that. Yeah, no. I'm just trying to say, like, because, I mean, people, hate. Like, no, it's not a hate thing. It's just an understanding of, like, and even when we talk about stuff like this, it isn't to try to say, like, we're better, we can do this. I just don't understand the dynamics of like the choice in a lot of these things. Now, these two cats, maybe it could be funny. I don't know. My whole thing is that, one, clearly you're taking jabs at us with this sneak this, all right? You're not going to tell me you're not. Like, you're not. Complex tried to tell us that they didn't take our cereal. No. Whatever. I'm more willing to believe that they had that done than this. Sneak this? You're starting a show from scratch. You could call it anything you want. Sneaker show comedy, shoe comedy, on your foot, feet you wear, and you call it Sneak This?
We always talk about how cornball...
Sneak This, fam.
Cornball.
Sneak This.
Bleacherreport, cornballs. Overtime, cornballs. And you know what's funny is all these companies started like Ballislife, cornballs. All these companies started like following high school basketball players. At least Overtime and Ballislife. Maybe Bleacherreport's a little bit different, but like They started out as a blog or whatever.
Yeah, and I want to preface this first. Ballislife didn't used to be corny. I don't know what happened to them. It used to be
I think it was
okay.
corny just on a different level of corn. It started with the balls.
Corny.
It started with the balls because it's almost like they're rooting for like them all to be NBA superstars, and it's just not possible. I don't know why people think the middle third brother is good or can be good. Fam, you go on their like on YouTube and all the comments, I'm sure they're all little kids writing it, but all the comments are like, fam, just keep grinding. You're going to make it one day. Like, who is wasting their time to write this stuff?
Wait. And it's all people in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments.
Okay.
And it's the fault of the host of the Overtime Ballislife or whoever page putting stuff out that's not accurate that makes people believe it. When was the last time anyone seen third ball shoot a basketball?
Now, I see him do a little interview thing.
What's the one?
And he was like, I've been hurt. Or the dad said he was hurt.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
But that was done by Slam Magazine, maybe? So Slam Magazine at least did kind of like a tasteful thing where it was just a documentary or an interview or whatever. They didn't make it corny.
That's what it was.
But in the comments, I seen comments like, oh, I can only imagine how bad this would be on Overtime. And like then people would go in and be like, that's what they would say, like, keep grinding, LiAngelo, you'll be they're gonna be all play for the Charlotte Hornets next season. And it's just like, why? I don't understand why people believe this stuff. Like, people believe that he's like actually blackballed by the NBA. Like, fam, I don't know. His recruiting profile out of high school was a 3-star. Like, why would you all of a sudden think he's
comment people just now the ones that are commenting specifically on like actual knowledge things or whatever, I get, but cats would be like, keep grinding. Same people that was in Nice Kicks thing like, congrats on the eBay partnership. You guys are killing it. The best and the best. Yeah, whatever. But there are a lot of people in the comments also too like, yo, are y'all gonna send my sneakers now? Like, there's a lot of other things like that too in there. Look, this
I seen somebody on social media today saying thank you to like Topps or like some card company because they let out, it's the same thing
you said the Nike thing.
Conversation we have about Nike all the time. Like, why are you thinking of a gigantic business for you being able to give your money to them? You're a nerd.
Said, thank you for doing the sneaker stash or whatever.
The yellow
thing.
because he got a $1,500 shoe. You're a nerd.
Thank you. Come on, man. Like,
you think I'm thinking of business? People need to
stop, man. And look, like I said, man, when it goes back to the Nice Kicks eBay thing, fine. You know what? I respect the eBay going to go find something that's already built and they don't got to build their own social media platform or sneakers. Whatever. When it comes to BR Kicks, they don't, but they do. They're doing.
eBay doesn't need thought. Social media. eBay is already one of the 10 biggest companies in the world.
It is, but like when you're really trying to take your one sector and make it compete.
Yeah, but I don't even think shoes. Fam, people sell boats on eBay. I don't think sneakers.
I listen.
It's the number one marketplace for collectibles, and I don't just mean like cards. I mean like coins,
everything.
Yeah, I don't think they need sneakers.
No. They don't, but they clearly want to be a part of something a little bit bigger. I listen to all types of podcasts. I listen to a podcast that's basically a gossip podcast. It's like two gay people, a woman and a man, and they just talk about gossip stuff. I just find it extremely entertaining. They do eBay ads, and I'm just like, huh? And they be like, shoes authentic. But it's so funny.
Well, so
because they know nothing. But I'm just like, eBay is really out here.
Well, but so that answers your question about last week when we were talking about what can these athletes do, and I was talking about, they got like a granola bar
right.
sponsorship. Same thing. eBay is just paying an influencer. So granola bar is just paying someone with 100,000 followers.
Look, BR Kicks, you start a show, clearly you took a jab at us, whatever. Show may be funny, I have no idea. But it's going to fade away just like every single thing else. Every single thing like this, you try to be innovative. My whole thing is I don't understand why everything sneaker culture has to be so goofy.
Well, and the other thing,
it always got to be goofy?
Trying to replicate the Dave Chappelle show. Fam, you're not Dave Chappelle. It worked because he's Dave Chappelle. He's literally the genius of all geniuses. From a comedic standpoint, and he had Donnell Rawlings, and he had
Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, like,
and Donnell Rawlings is one of the funniest people. Period. He's a top 10 comic to me right now. All right, Donnell Rawlings is so funny. It's hilarious.
Well, see, that's why when we talk about Dave Chappelle's genius, is like he's that much of a like. not messiah, but you know what I mean. Like he's that much to that level that all these comedians that are like really, really good comedians are willing to do stuff with him for like peanuts. Because I'm sure they didn't get paid nothing back then.
Oh, yeah.
He walked away from the contract.
Of course.
So,
but like
Dave Chappelle is that like the Michael Jordan of comedy that people just want to be associated with him.
And I'm pretty confident he takes care of all of them now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, some of those people, I would have never known Charlie Murphy existed without that. Never. I didn't know Eddie Murphy had a brother until then.
Right.
Had never heard any of that stuff. I felt, if you can go back right now and still watch some of that stuff with Charlie Murphy is one of the greatest storytellers of all time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a question.
Well, so now, I don't know if he perfected the voice inflection more than Dave Chappelle perfected it, but Charlie Murphy's ability to just change his, like, pitch on his voice and make something funny or tone, fam.
Hilarious. King.
I mean, honestly, he's not fun. He may not be funnier than Eddie Murphy on stage, but I wouldn't be surprised if
Have you ever seen a Charlie Murphy stand-up? I haven't.
No, but I would not be surprised if like y'all just kicking it and he funnier than
one of
Eddie
the funniest
Murphy
in the world. I wouldn't even 100%. That's how I viewed Mike Epps. I don't view his stand-up as funny, but hanging out, I better be dying laughing, like crying. Charlie Murphy, I know he is funny. Eddie Murphy on stage, Eddie Murphy is a genius. Like, he's like Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a genius. I don't think Chris Rock is funny if we hanging out whatsoever. I
wouldn't say not funny, but yeah, you're right. He's not Dave Chappelle. He's not Mike Epps.
I think Chris Rock is funny, but I don't think he's as funny as a lot of other people think he is.
Well, that's the thing. That's the point I'm making about stand-up is Chris Rock obviously is writing all that beforehand, and he has help. He has writers and whatever else.
What else are we gonna talk about? Shout out to BR Kicks for whatever. This. What else was that?
We got to talk about
what?
Okay, so I went back and watched last week's
Kicks?
show when we were talking about the fandom thing because something got skipped. I don't want to have the same conversation we had today. You can bring it up if you want, but I just want to bring up.
I just like to argue.
I forgot because my brain was not working when that happened. We had 4 people here, obviously, and I don't know what was going on. But what I had brought up was, in my opinion, I'm not throwing a fan under the bus by saying they're not as at the same level of fan as this guy. And all 3 of you literally simultaneously were like, ah! And what I wanted was that to be explained in each opinion. And I think everyone forgot what I had said, and so it never got explained. Rico said something and was totally off, and then you said something that was like based on what he was saying, and so we never got back to when I was like, I'm not degrading fans who aren't as big fans, and all 3 of you literally were like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you said a lot of other stuff.
I just want to know why y'all.
Point. I don't remember everything exactly said. When you made that final whatever, the build up to what you said is what was like.
Yeah, but that's what you guys reacted on was.
I don't remember exactly what it was. I know what you're talking about because I remember everybody going. I remember I was like, but I remember.
Yeah, but
exactly.
that was what was it about. It was about when I said I'm not. I don't know what the exact words were, but essentially the point is I'm not looking down on someone for being less of a fan when I do my fandom levels. And then you guys were like, I don't know. So
I gotta go back and watch.
So what? You don't have an opinion based on that.
Well, I mean,
so you looked at it as looking down upon fans that are on a lower level? Is that how you look at it?
I gotta go back and look at it because you said something prior to making that statement that you weren't doing that. And it was like, it sounded a lot like you were. But I can't remember exactly everything you said. It was something where it was like this build up and then you were like, I'm not, it was like,
so let me give an example of like, I can't say you can or can't because I don't believe that there's level to fans. Listen, you can't be at the bottom and you can't be at the top. I don't think you can be at the bottom of the top, but someone can care more than another person. To me, that's a level. I don't know what other word you would use for it. Anyways, I don't want to rehash all that. Let me just give you an example, and this is going to be an extreme example of when I say fandom, because if you're saying fandom is fandom, no matter what, let me give you an example. So, the week of like game 2, my sister and niece and nephew were in town. My mom, Hannah, wanted to go to dinner. Cool. We went to dinner.
The finals.
Game 2. Yeah, game 2 finals. Yeah. No joke. My mom has not ever mentioned the Suns one time since we lived in the state of Arizona. Once.
Okay.
So game 1, I had seen him that night, and she was talking about the Suns, asking me for like score updates or whatever. I would give her the score update off the phone. Game 2, we go to dinner. No joke. She got up from the dinner table to walk into the bar of the restaurant no less than 3 times to look at the score of the game, to know what the game situation was.
Okay.
Because she wanted to know were the Suns winning.
What point are you going to make? Because if you're going to say...
So that's what I'm saying is, like, if you consider that the same type of fan as, like, Andy, who has a bazillion Suns paraphernalia things and watches every game, that's my extreme example of, like, she's acting as a fan during the finals game because she literally is so interested in the score, but for the 20 years we've lived in Arizona has never mentioned the Suns one time. So again, it's an extreme example, but that's the example I use for, like, if someone says that all fans are the same, I literally can give you an example of someone who's never talked about the team until they're in the finals and then wants to check on the score of the game, as opposed, and the dichotomy between that and what Andy is as a fan.
Yeah, but not bringing it up doesn't mean she wasn't aware. Especially with your stepdad.
No,
your stepdad might have.
No, but it's still a point, though. Doesn't mean not aware. It's just a point of, like, you never. Fam, do you think Andy could go an entire day or week, even in the off season, of not having a one Suns discussion, whether it be with his wife or friends or whatever? I don't think it's possible.
But that doesn't mean that, like, anybody who isn't the same type of fan. Like,
then you need to define what same type means, because that is the difference. If he can't go a day without talking about his team and someone else talks about him 5 times in a season, those are 2 different levels of person.
See, I view that type of, like, the picture you sent of the person that, like, entire front of their house is covered in Cowboys stuff.
Yeah.
I consider that a moron. I don't consider that a super fan.
I mean,
like,
moron to me is you got to be doing something that's, like, detrimental. Like, you just a fan. You're not doing detrimental is fighting. That's detrimental because you either going to jail, they're going to jail, or one of y'all is getting hurt.
In my mind, either way, whether you or a person paint yourself orange or not, the Suns don't even know you exist whatsoever.
Yeah, you're right. That's fine.
Like,
but that's why it's just like, to do with fandom.
I just don't understand what anybody's talking about. Now, a lot of people message me like they agree with y'all, agree with me. It's a 50, like a.
People clearly agree with us. Oh, yeah. Based on everything I've seen, people clearly agree with us. Yes. Look. Between the YouTube comments and the comments on social media and people texting me, people clearly agree with us. Now, it might be, 70-30 or whatever. I'm not saying it's 99-1, but it's still overwhelming.
I'm thinking more 60.
Nah, I don't think so. I think people understand what I'm saying when I say there's a difference between person A and person B. I'm not trying to degrade either one of them. I'm just saying, like, fam, Andy owns a bazillion Suns
maybe I'm
items.
thinking about what I'm thinking, the degrading thing. Because you know what it is? I think that might be what it is. Because if this person doesn't act like this person, the fans who act like Andy act like this person can't participate. That's the problem.
That's not
what
I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's the problem that I have with degrading.
They would high five each other at a game.
So that's exactly what it is. That's my point of, like, where I was thinking, like, the degrading a level. When I keep seeing Suns fans arguing with Suns fans to prove who's the bigger Suns fan, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm an outsider, though. I'm talking about it as an outsider.
Yeah, but that was one of my points as well, is that, like, all I see is Suns. Now, if you weren't rooting for the Suns when Gortat was here, you don't know. Like,
yeah,
shut
that's
up.
stupid.
Like, he's a fan. You're a fan. Sorry that he wasn't wearing the jersey in the off season and didn't pre-order the Valley jersey and stuff like that. It doesn't matter.
But you can still make the point of Johnny-come-latelys or bandwagoners without being, like, mean about it.
But what's the point of it?
What do you mean?
What's a Johnny-come-lately and a bandwagoner when you live in the state of...
So an example...
It doesn't even make any sense.
Example, D-backs games. I don't know if you've been to one this year. Have you seen...
0 this year.
Fam, they get like 15,000 fans. But if they were winning, it would be sold out every night.
No. See, you can't make that argument.
What?
Oh, no.
Well, why is that not relevant?
I'm sorry. You're right. I think I say World Series. Because to me, anybody who makes that argument that I've been a fan since day one, what do you want the Suns Arena to be just as empty as it was last year as it is in the finals? What do you want? Like, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about ownership.
I thought
or
you meant like the D-backs game if they're in the World Series, it'd be packed. Of course it would.
No, if they
my whole thing is
like Dodger Stadium, they could be whack or good. It's gonna be sold out. I mean, it just is.
Right. And that 100%.
Certain teams are like that.
Cardinals too.
Yeah, but the NFL prints money, so you're right. The Cardinals have had a long sellout streak or whatever, but that's just NFL.
My whole thing is fans, like, the proving that you're a fan. You don't have to prove. If you wear zero items of shirt, when the Suns got to the playoffs, I got so many fans. Suns at the playoffs, I bet I see you room for them. You're a Lakers Warriors fan. I said, well, who made you think that? Who told you that?
I don't think any fan has to prove anything to anyone.
No.
We should have talked about that last week.
But my whole thing is that, like, but that was my argument too. It's like, why are you arguing with another Suns fan? And what are y'all arguing about? I root for him harder than you did, and I was 96.
Yeah, but that's not how the conversation started. The conversation was
that
just
was
like your level of fandom versus his level of fandom. It's different.
That was one discussion, but then I was also talking about, that was a whole other one. Okay, you're right. So, with the, what was I talking about?
One Suns fan saying to another Suns fan, you don't deserve to be a Suns fan.
Yeah, but there was another point I was trying to make. I can't remember. I don't even remember. But look, either way, like I was saying, like, I don't want to see one fan trying to prove the other fan is that, especially when we live in the state of Arizona. I don't care. You live in Arizona, you can root for the Suns. You can root for the Suns, and you can go to the games. You can paint your face orange, and you've never painted before.
Yeah, that's fine. I was not disagreeing with that.
Right. Oh, no. My point was when people messaged me, literally like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, yo, you better not start rooting for the Suns because you a Lakers. Who told you that? I root for the Lakers. I'm from LA. I love the Lakers. I root for the Warriors because I've been to more Warriors games than I have any other basketball team. I root for the Blazers a little bit because of this, but I don't like Jerome Kersey and I didn't like Terry Porter. I root for the Suns because this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere. I don't have an NBA team. I root for whoever. If the Suns won the finals, I'm going to the parade. I don't care. Like, that's my whole point. I don't own a Lakers shirt, a Lakers hoodie, a Warriors. I don't own any clothing of any of these teams except hats. I've worn a Bucks hat 3 times on this podcast. Plenty of time. Well, as far as that, it's an irrelevant thing. I just hate I just hate how everybody acts when it comes to stuff like this, especially teams who ain't never done nothing or been anywhere. You don't have the level of whatever to make these determinations of like, nah, I was doing it before.
Yeah, you're talking about something different. You're talking about somebody who feels they have ownership over fandom. That's not what I was talking about.
Now, like,
my thing is just very simply like, fam, if I showed you the other pictures of that Dallas house that I sent, because I got 5. If I showed you the other pictures, you probably would be embarrassed.
Well, Chris,
the amount of memorabilia and whatever you want to call it inside that house, fam, you should live in what's the city? It's not technically Dallas.
Austin.
It's,
Fort Worth?
No, Arlington.
Arlington.
You need to live in Arlington, fam. I mean, if you got your house looking like that.
Look, if you go to Chris's house, you've never been to Chris Anna's house, Chris's living room, all Cowboys. Nothing. It's Cowboys rug, Cowboys bar, Cowboys tiki statue.
So the
walls
point
blue,
is, he cares.
Silver.
I'm not saying it's cool for him to look down on other people. I'm saying he cares clearly more than the other Chris.
He doesn't care at all.
So there you go. Not black Chris, white Chris. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh,
white Chris and white Chris.
Oh, no, he has a Cowboys room, too.
Yeah, but he don't seem like he cares as much as...
Oh, no, he cares more than the Chris I know.
Oh, he does? Okay, well, then reverse it then.
Like,
he cares more than him.
We went on vacation, and we were watching that Rams-Cowboys playoff game, and the Cowboys lost. He didn't get off the couch. My sister-in-law was over there rubbing his back like this. Like, man, it's all right. And I was like, if he dies, the Cowboys won't know. Like, they don't... I was, puzzle time. I was like, Cowboys, they put the puzzle together. I was annoyed. But it was like, this ain't a new thing. Like, the worst feelings ever for me as a Cowboys fan is when you're doing so good and then lose. Both against the Packers. When you're like, oh my God, we killing it. You can't have a more perfect game. Here come Aaron Rodgers. Right down that sideline, throwing that pass. It was like the most anticlimactic thing. Like, your heart, like you're so high, your blood is like to your brain. And when you drop, you don't know what to do with yourself. You're just sitting there like this. And now you can feel the alcohol. You can feel everything in your body now. And it's the worst feeling ever. But, like, I'm not like, I
mean, that's kind of how Game 6 was for the Suns. Or Game 5.
That was what I felt like that as well. I'm not even a fan for them.
Oh, I was at the bar. It was super hype. The entire game. And then the end was like, fam, what happened?
I don't think I could be around a bar like that.
When Booker turned the ball over in the middle, when they were down 1, it was the quietest.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Hold on, let me ask you a question. even if you're watching the Raiders play, okay? Let's say you're watching the Raiders play and they're playing against somebody. You're rooting for the Raiders, but when the other team does good things, you be like, ooh, that was a good pass, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an honest fan.
Okay, that's the type of fan I am. I'm watching the Suns game and the Bucks is just doing everything right. I'm like, whew. Good pass, good steal. Oh, goodness. Oh, my God.
I'm not rooting for them, but yeah.
I'm not,
like, if
I don't consider that
if it's
rooting.
like a round-the-back pass or a lob or something, I'm like, oh, shite.
I'm a basketball person, like, whew, got him. Like, I'm on it like that. I'm rooting for the Suns to win,
Chris Middleton made the three at the end, and people thought the game was over. Now, the Suns had a chance to win and should have won because they had the ball down one with like 19 seconds left or whatever. But Middleton made that three, and people thought the game was over. Middleton cooked.
We're recording this podcast while the Suns game is on. Do you know the score now?
No, but I'm have a text thread open, so I think it's close to even a half based on what I'm reading.
I haven't looked, and I don't really want to look. Are the Suns going to win? And let me ask you that because I don't even know. I don't even want to ask that because honestly, this podcast won't be out tonight.
Listen. I'm not a Suns fan, and I clearly I've been rooting for them. So maybe I'm slightly biased. Let's say I'm 60-40 biased, but I think they've gotten one of the worst whistles in the games I've seen, at least, of any team in the finals. And the reason why I say that is it's been 4 games in a row where Milwaukee has shot more free throws. 4. And there's been times in every game where there was a play that was like blatant something, like that play in Game 5 where it was like, you can't call a foul on PJ Tucker right there. The ball,
right?
Booker's down the court, dunking the ball and getting hit, which should have been an intentional foul. And then out of that whole thing, you got just one common foul and you side out of bounds.
But
no.
Game 3 or whatever game that was, Booker had fouled.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
the one yeah.
Like, I'm reading the memes on that was hilarious. They were like, man, Booker had 40 points and 7 fouls.
Here's the thing. People only remember that one. They don't remember the ones earlier in the game that could have been like...
See, I feel like it's been like both sides. Both sides have been like, and then they're both playing 2 different types of basketball. They're hitting the offensive glass way more. They're scoring more points in the...
I think in college that's a thing. In the NBA, that's not a thing. All teams attack and shoot threes at the same rate.
Suns
for the most
aren't
part.
attacking the hoop at the rate or
they
rebounding. No, as the Bucks, they're destroying them on the offensive glass.
No. Chris Middleton doesn't go to the rack. He's a jump shooter only. Booker does everything, and Ayton is inside. So if you look at Ayton versus...
Ayton's not even getting the ball enough to even where I could even say he's being in fouled or not. He's not in the game enough for me to be like, what the heck is happening?
He's in the...
He is? Fam, every time you look, Ayton's on the bench again. I'm like, what is happening?
No, not in that game.
They're not even
I don't know about the ones
they're
before that, but not in Game 5. Game 5, he probably played 40 minutes. I didn't look at the numbers, but...
Ayton might have the most free throws on the Suns team during this series.
Well, then that's a problem. Booker should have. Booker took 33 shots in Game 5. Like
Booker's got a lot of calls.
Nah,
a lot of hands.
You got to look at the box score, man. There's no excuse for having one team in the finals with 4 games in a row where you shot like way more free throws. That to me, that's not, and especially with that call in Game 5 where Giannis should have got intentional or flagrant or whatever, and it completely got wiped out. That stuff bothers me.
Yeah, but when people make that measurement of like one team should have more free throws than the other, what if this team is just fouling more than the other? Like, what if?
No, but that's not how, you know better than anyone, that's not how sports work.
I know, but
the statistical anomalies don't happen. Like, they do happen in small sample sizes, but they don't happen where it should be like, boom, 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 this many times in a row.
So you think that's affecting the outcome?
I mean, games 1 through 3 were blowouts. So obviously no calls affected those games. Every other game's been close. So
calls though.
Games 4 and 5. Now, Game 4, I didn't watch Game 4 like I watched Game 5. Game 5, I was at the bar, in the Brett bar, watching the game, big screen in front of me. So I saw every single play. That thing with when they said as a common foul, because he slapped man when Devin Booker's already dunking the ball on the other end and being tackled out of bounds, is one of the most egregious calls I've ever seen in my entire life. You have to be able to adjudicate that better. I don't care what the rule book says. If someone is down the court and the ball is already being thrown, you can't call a simple foul on especially when he's being tackled at the basket. You have to be able. Now you could be like, if you were like, okay, there's a foul on PJ Tucker, we're gonna let Booker shoot and an intentional on Giannis. Booker gonna shoot 2 free throws and then the Bucks get the ball, but Giannis gets it. Yeah, they can. Why can't they?
That's like calling 2 fouls simultaneously.
No. You call a foul on what's a name, but then you can.
But
there's dead ball fouls in football. Why can't you have dead ball foul in basketball? If someone got punched on a dead ball,
no.
it's still a flagrant.
I'm not saying that that's a bad idea, but it doesn't exist.
No. Yes, it does. If someone got
dead ball fouls in basketball,
if someone got punched after a whistle, there's going to be a flagrant on them.
That's way different.
Why is it different?
Because they were doing a basketball play. It wasn't just a ridiculous.
He didn't go for the ball. No. Watch the replay. He did not go for the ball at all. It's not even close.
I hate that call. You can't make that judgment, especially if you're somebody. If you're somebody,
the refs have the ability to watch the replay of
on a wind up. If they wind up,
what do you mean,
fam? Let me tell you something. When I play basketball, I didn't care how tall you were. I might hit you in the face.
He didn't hit him in the face. He didn't even come close to the ball. He hit him like this. He one hand hit him here, and the other hand pushed him out of bounds. It wasn't even close.
Who did it?
Giannis.
Oh, I can't even remember.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, he dunked on him. I thought Giannis was kind of falling.
Huh? Fam, you got to watch the replay.
He came charging from the backside. I don't think he expected.
He had no business trying to block the shot in the first place.
It was a reckless play. I don't think it was a flagrant thing.
That's the definition of a flagrant foul.
Oh, you're
reckless
right.
play.
You're right. I'm not gonna say that because they call flagrants on
Booker
stuff that
flew out of bounds and landed on his back or something. Come on, man, you can't be doing that. That's like a star. You can't do that.
Do you believe in sports momentum? Momentum in sports.
I believe that in psychology of players. So I don't believe that momentum is measurable as a statistic, but I believe players can be affected. Yeah, absolutely. You're a human.
Okay. Because I agree with the same thing. I only brought this up because, like I said, all weekend I was listening to ESPN radio and everything. And I just every radio station.
But see, here's the thing that most of those people don't think like us. They actually believe momentum is a real thing. No, momentum is in physics, like you said. Momentum is a definition of force, velocity. Yeah, force and velocity or whatever the equation is. Momentum does not exist in the term momentum. It's just psychological.
Right. I think it's the wrong word to use for what is taking place.
It's the same thing. This is a problem with all not mass media, but you know what I mean, mainstream media, mainstream sports media, because all the time, you know how many games you can watch and they'll be like, the Suns, say for example, the Suns are favored to win the series before the series starts. Example, tonight they're a 4-point underdog, which means if the Suns win tonight, they won as the underdog. The favorite didn't win. But some idiot on SportsCenter will be like, oh, the favorites came back and won it. They always do that stuff where they don't know the line of the game and they're just assuming the better team went. Say Alabama was a 1-point underdog at the road to LSU and Alabama will win or something as an underdog, they won't call Alabama an underdog, even though they're an underdog in Las Vegas. So that goes hand in hand with the momentum thing.
People look at that as it has to be a really big.
No, but the people who are paid to talk about sports aren't knowledgeable enough in general on the terminology of sports to be getting paid that much to talk about it.
You think the Suns are a better team?
Oh, yeah.
In the Bucks?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I mean, game 1 and 2, they proved it. Isn't that when Sarge tore his ACL? Or did he tear his ACL before the series?
It was that first game of that one.
Yeah, so when he was healthy, it was like a whitewashing.
I mean, what?
The Suns don't have a backup center. I mean, you put Kaminsky in, I guess, but they just don't. You can't allow Bobby Portis to hit 2 threes in a game. I'm sorry. He's a dumpster fire.
I mean, you can make that argument for Cam Payne and all these people too. Playing good basketball, man.
Cam Payne, maybe, but Cam Johnson's a shooter. Don't say Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson. Oh, you almost did.
I almost did. I got the wrong name. Too many Cams on the team.
Exactly.
But Bobby Portis making shots in the corner is equivalent to PJ Tucker making some shots in the corner.
Bobby Portis.
Fam, Bobby Portis is doing his job like he's supposed to do. I don't have.
He got no business doing
going back
to
what anybody said about the Suns
rebounding
right now.
And stuff. Sure, he got no business making threes and doing all that stuff.
I get what you guys may be under the impression with the Suns. I don't see this team being as good as what people think they are. They're extremely well coached and everybody
The
who
statistics
typically
back
doesn't.
up they're the better team.
Typically, anybody on the Suns who isn't as consistent in doing their job during this playoffs have been wildly consistent. Crowder has been more consistent than he has inconsistent. Campaign more consistent. Like, it isn't like playing in the regular season. Like, Crowder might go 5 games without making a freaking shot. In these playoffs, from start to finish, you're gonna get a freaking phenomenal game out of Crowder one game, and then maybe then another phenomenal, then a bad, then a phenomenal, then a phenomenal, then like all the players.
He's a role player.
Crowder, Campaign, Cam Johnson, all of them have provided way more than expected by anybody. Way more. Way more. We didn't expect this out of no Campaign, regardless of how decent he played. Cam Johnson, definitely, because
No, he's been good all season.
He's been
good all season.
Better than what we thought he might be.
No one thought he would be that when he was drafted,
Of course
but
not.
he's proven that wrong. So you can't. It's not just have it in the finals.
I mean, he was a star in North Carolina. Like, I don't understand why. Like,
but he was 23 when he was drafted or whatever.
Everybody's something like a kid at that point in age. I thought he was more important
between
than
drafting an 18-year-old and developing an 18-year-old and drafting someone who's 23. Big difference. You lost 5 years of
my whole thing is
develop.
I don't know why people like it felt like Suns fans and people scoffed at the Bucks. That's what it feels like. I don't feel like
but I'm not a fan though. I'm looking at it from someone who's being honest.
The Bucks
I picked the Bucks to be in the finals against the Lakers.
No, that's
from the
fine.
very beginning.
Yeah, but like, for some odd reason, once the Suns won those first 2 games, it was like to you like the Bucks is out of here.
Because if Ayton has the ability to guard Giannis and their shooters aren't making shots, like I told you from the very beginning, Middleton has to score 40 a night for them to beat the Suns. And in game 4 or whatever it was, he scored 40. That was the only reason they won, because Middleton scored 40. It literally transpired the way I said.
What
in
does
game
guarding?
4.
What does guarding well mean? Because to me, I don't know what that means. When people like put these labels that somebody's guarding somebody good, people will say, "Ooh, PJ Tucker made KD work."
Who's people? Nerds on the internet are nerds. Like, the best example I can give you is after that game. I'm not sure if you remember all the specific possessions, but anytime the Suns had a short clock or Booker tried to go ISO on Connaughton locked him up.
Who?
Pat Connaughton, the white guy,
locked
Booker in Connaughton, whatever his name is, same thing.
Go ahead.
Connaughton, same thing. It's not that different. In ISO late clock situations, Booker had some of the worst possessions I've ever seen a superstar have against a very mediocre defender. And it was mind-blowing to me that he was struggling to score on Connaughton, whatever his name is. So on social media...
That's a Booker problem, though.
I understand that. On social media, somebody tweeted something, and I was like, fam, Booker was getting locked by Connaughton, who's probably the worst defender in the entire arena. Now, he's more athletic than we give him credit for. He was in the dunk contest, whatever else. So I'm sure he has a somewhat of a resume as an athlete or whatever, but he's probably the worst defender on their roster.
And he's only really playing as much as he is because Vincenzo got hurt, whatever his name is, out of Villanova. Yeah, he got hurt months before the playoffs. So.
Yeah. But Connaughton, whatever his name is, can shoot too. He's made obviously a lot of threes. He made threes in game 5 that were big threes. But so my point just had to do with that. And then all the comments or whatever that came out to my reply was Booker scored 41. If that was being locked up, I don't know. Like fam, everyone on social media always goes to the most simplest route to the number. He scored 41 on 33 shots.
Yes.
He worked super hard to get 41, and he missed shots and took bad shots and turnovers in situations where the Suns couldn't afford it.
Yeah, but
you had to watch the game differently.
Right, but when people make that argument, even media and just regular people make that argument.
No, it's a thought argument.
It's not a thought argument.
Yeah, it is, because every
argument from the person.
When Rudo used to argue about the NBA, fam, just because you look at someone, you watch the game and you look at someone's numbers and they scored, people who think Jamal Murray is a superstar are wrong. You look further into the numbers. Jamal Murray is mediocre.
You have to make the argument differently if you're going to make that argument.
No, because those people don't listen to begin with, so it doesn't matter.
Connington, whatever, locked Devin Booker in critical moments. That's where I look at it. He didn't lock up Devin Booker.
Well, he didn't guard him the whole game.
He didn't, but he locked him up in each situation turned into points for the Bucks. That's a hard argument to make against somebody because now people will say that to me. Man, PJ Tucker locked up KD when the Bucks was in the thing. I was like, what? I said, he had 31, 10, and 11.
Well, here's the thing.
He worked for it. Now, the Bucks won, which means that maybe whatever he did in that moment KD missed, they might have got some Bucks points off of it. Maybe.
So you asked about defender or whatever. There are now, in 2021, there are companies that are exclusively do game analysis where they actually chart how close the defender was when the shot was released, stuff like that. Synergy Sports is one of them. So you can't just review the box score anymore. You can't just use your own eye test. You have to look into some of those companies that are doing the better stuff. So to answer your question is, there are people who are charting that kind of stuff, and that's really what you need to look at. So you can figure out who the best defender is based on how close he is, average distance of defense on a shot or whatever. That's how you can figure it out.
I'm gonna look at that. What's it on? What's that at?
One of the websites is Synergy, but you need a subscription for that. I mean, they tweet a lot of stuff.
Somebody want money for everything. Yeah, I'm looking at sports articles. Yo, you want to continue?
It's the only way that a lot of people
eat my shorts.
People get paid.
Look, who has a better opportunity of getting back close to the finals next year? Bucks or Suns?
The Suns are younger.
Don't do that.
Yeah, what do you mean don't do that? They are. It's the same thing I said.
They're younger, but
yeah.
You think the Suns have a better opportunity to get back to the finals than the Bucks?
The Suns are set up for a long-term run. The Bucks are not.
What makes you think that?
Middleton is old.
Old is a stretch.
I'm alone. Look it up.
I think Steph Curry might be older than Middleton. I think Steph Curry's what? Russell Westbrook older than Middleton.
They're all over 30.
They're all in their 30s, but old is almost irrelevant now in basketball.
So Middleton's going to be 30 next month.
He's okay then.
Right, but all the Suns players are 24.
They're 24, but we're talking about players who are right now playing beyond their capabilities of what we thought.
First of all,
maybe a one or two.
Middleton has always been known as the fold in the playoffs guy, so let's not go overboard. He's having a very good playoffs, and hopefully he can sustain this. Hopefully he gets rid of the reputation of not folding the playoffs guy. That's why the Bucks have been knocked out of the playoffs the last 4 or 5 years, is because Middleton can't do anything to help Giannis. This year he's finally doing it, but their roster, by and large, with the exception of Chris Paul, their roster is all 5, 6, 7 years older than the Suns.
The youth is one thing.
Matters.
I'm talking about basketball skills. There's only
the
two
Suns are in
of
the
them.
finals right now. What do you mean?
There are only 2 players on that team besides Aiden, Chris Paul, and Booker, who I think are legit good. Mikal Bridges still needs a little tuning up.
He's probably 24.
And Cam Johnson.
24.
Anything else, they're getting additional and extra out of everybody else. I don't view that as enough to be like they'll be back next year. If Suns got...
But Cam Johnson and all the players you're talking about didn't get them to this point. They may be having good games.
No.
Stop. They didn't get the Suns in the regular season to 60 wins
Facts,
or whatever the Suns
100%.
had. I'm not talking about getting them to this point from the first round. I'm talking about they didn't get the Suns to the second best record or for whatever it was 100%. In the West.
They didn't.
So that's the point. The Suns roster is very, very young.
Okay, if you make that argument, then fine. Okay. But either way, they're going to put out the first round of playoffs next year, most likely.
But why?
I mean, it's the West still.
Making random stuff up.
It's the West. I don't understand why, since the Suns ran through the West, the rest is being such disregarded. You know what? Let's go back to your argument. No, let's go back to your argument.
They played the Lakers in the first round, but the Lakers barely got the 7th seed. I don't think the Lakers are getting the 7th seed again.
No.
They're probably going to get the top 3 seed.
Right, but no.
So they wouldn't face the Lakers in the first round. The argument you made last
week was when I said the Suns were very fortunate to bypass Kawhi Leonard. They didn't have to play against a Kawhi Leonard. Everyone's argument was well, they're not as good with Kawhi Leonard anyways.
No, I didn't say that.
I know he said, Andy said that. Then you all of a sudden started throwing out, he won't be back there next year. It's irrelevant to what my argument was.
No, that wasn't making a point for that. I'm just saying, you're talking about next year. You're talking about the future. That was a different conversation.
No, it was the same conversation.
No. You're saying they were fortunate to get to that spot. So, maybe they won't be as fortunate in the future. Right. What I'm talking about is in the future. My point for Kawhi was in the future. The Clippers may not be relevant next year. The point about you saying they're fortunate, all teams are fortunate. Every team has injuries. Sarge tore his ACL. The Suns are missing their guys. Everyone is fortunate when it comes to the playoffs.
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying is like you can't just
In
say
certain
only
aspects.
one team is fortunate.
More fortunate than others.
Every team that wins a championship gets luck here and there.
It's pretty lucky to bypass a healthy AD.
He played half the games in the series. You don't. Why do you, I don't understand why you don't give credence to him playing half the games in the series?
Because that is not the same AD that we know. Come on, he was barely getting himself up the court. Barely. One game you're talking about, he played 7 minutes.
Don't do that.
One game, huh? Don't do that. We're talking about a person the game before
I think he
the season
scored
ended.
38 in one of those games. Don't do. That was the game we watched. Game 2
and I think
won.
he had like 27 free throws.
Well, I mean, obviously, it means you can't keep him off the line.
You want to do top 10? Look, man, I just don't see it in the Suns. I love the Suns. I do. I want them to be the most.
Don't see what? It's impossible to not look at their roster and be like they're built to like contend multiple years. I didn't say win 5 championships in a row. I said they're built to contend. I don't know why you would disagree with that. This isn't the NFL where like
built to be
you
in the
can
playoffs.
be in the Super Bowl
Okay.
1 year. Listen, this isn't the NFL where you make the Super Bowl 1 year and then the next year you don't even make the playoffs. The NBA is not like that. The NBA is like when teams have those. Look at the Nuggets.
They'll be a playoff team.
Look at the Nuggets. The Nuggets have been like 2 through 4 seed the entire run of Jokic and what's the name. So the NBA is like that. So the Suns are gonna be there.
They've been playoffs, but final shot, unless they're very fortunate again, and every single person in the West gets hurt, and then they just glide right through it.
Fam, every team that wins something is fortunate. The Dodgers are fortunate. I'm sure. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I'm sure they were down 3-1 to Atlanta. I don't think it was fortunate. I don't think it was fortunate. No, they weren't. They led that series. They won it 4-2.
During the Rays weren't down like 3. Oh, maybe I thought it was 2.
Tim, they won it 4-2, and they were up the entire time. They won game 1, they won game 2, and then the Rays won one of the games on like an error at the end that the Dodgers led going into the 9th. It was like a miraculous win for the Rays in one of those games.
I remember that.
Yeah, the Dodgers were up 3-2, and then they won the last game.
I don't know why I looked at the score.
Well, someone just texted that it was tied. So
77 at the end of the 3rd. Let's do top 10 sneakers so we can get out of here. Our top 10 favorite colorways. We appreciate everybody who likes to subscribe to this podcast. We are doing top 10 favorite sneaker colorways to us. Shout out to @803Charlie from Instagram. We appreciate the suggestion. I do have a list of all the other suggestions as well. Somebody said, top 10 NBA throwbacks, which I thought was a good one. So we have a list of things. We're going to try to get to all of them. If we don't come up with anything ourselves, that we think is better. You have any honorable mentions?
Nah.
I do. Galaxy
I
Foam
could have
Posit.
made them, but
Galaxy Foam Posit. That's one. I don't consider it a colorway because it was basically like when you wrap a car. It was like a wrap on a foam posit. Big Bang LeBron 9s. Love them. Still love them to this day, but I mean, it's a gigantic orange sneaker. And Air Max 97 metallic gold.
there's fewer classics in your list than I.
Yeah, I don't got favorite colorways. I ain't got
But I mean, I'm just one example. I mean, Elephant Air Max 1. I mean,
I don't consider that that's not a class. I mean, it's a classic, but if you would have said red Air Max 1 or blue, I would have been like,
I mean,
okay.
Wait, it's color blocked way better than any of those other shoes you're talking about. I mean, maybe not Galaxy Foam. Galaxy Foam was a new idea when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, Big Bangs is all orange. I mean, metallic gold. I got
They're so dumb.
I got metallic gold 97s. That's the greatest Air Max of all time. To me, that's my favorite, metallic gold. And then I got Gibsons. Gibsons is on brown with the thing I like the colorway about it. I thought it was done extremely well considering it's supposed to be the inside of a Gibson guitar case. Phenomenal idea. Do you want to go first?
You could do that with every SB.
I got SBs on my list. SB has some of the greatest colorways and stuff of all time.
Well, yeah, so I didn't do my list the same way because I didn't know what to do.
I told you what to do.
No, you didn't.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Oh, I thought you were already going.
Oh, no, that was honorable mentions. Number 10. Number 10, I got Jordan 11 Concord. I mean, one is called a Concord, and it's very minimal amount of purple on the shoe, but it's one of the most recognizable sneakers on the basketball court of all time. I remember when Jordan came out in that, we was like, what is that? All right. Phenomenal colorway, even though it's just the materials that switched it up. The rough canvasy, whatever on top, not canvas, whatever that is. And then the patent leather, the shine, stop. Number 9, I got Foam Posit Coppers. That to me is my favorite colorway of all foam posits, even Royals, even Galaxies, anything. It's just such a iconic idea for penny, Hardaway to have a copper foamposite. Coppers are better than gold, stealth, metallic, suns, red metallics, all those colorways. Copper is the greatest foamposite colorway to me. Number 8, I got AirTech Challenge 2 Kumquats. That's a very underrated colorway. Even though a lot of people even though people will probably say lavas and all this stuff like that, I get it, you know, and we may whatever. But kumquats, that like off-white taupish with the blue with the light orange, it works so well together, and the off-whitish laces, crazy. Number 7, KD Weathermans. I mean, if you're gonna make a Weatherman sneaker and you don't pick us a weather, like it wasn't like they did like rain all over it or snow.
Weather.
They did the map, and it was done perfectly. Now, I don't think
relax, you.
It was done perfectly, but KD Weathermans didn't age well. They did not age well. When I see people do pictures of them now, I'm like, eek. Number 9, which is my favorite LeBron 9, period, is the Cannons. I had to have Cannons when they came out. That Cannon tealish, marinish, lightish, greenish, bluish was phenomenally perfect with the orange laces and the hints of orange and the navy. Them joints are flawless. Number 5, I got Night Dunk SB Low Miss Pac-Mans. I mean, a lot of SBs, even though they really didn't like, this wasn't a Miss Pac-Man shoe. When you looked at the shoe, you thought Miss Pac-Man. It was done perfectly. It's one of my favorite SBs of all time just because of what it is. Number 4, I got Kobe 6 Grinch. I mean, it's the Grinch. Like, I don't think you could have messed it up, but you couldn't mess that up, I don't think. But the fact of obviously being Kobe Bryant, who was obviously known as a killer on the basketball court, a Grinch taking a different spin on Christmas besides your Christmas trees, your snowflakes, your red, your green. They said, you know, we're going to go somewhere else. This is a Kobe wearing a Grinch to steal your Christmas on Christmas Day, steal the basketball. Phenomenal idea. Still one of the greatest colors of all time, one of the greatest ideas of all time, greatest themes of all time. Number 3, I got De La Soul Dunks, highs or lows. It's modeled after one of the albums. And you're talking about De La Soul, the group. You could easily not figure out what to do, but the correct use of materials, the elephant print, the thick piping of brown, the suede, the green, the brown or the green laces, the suede tongue. You can't beat that. It is absolutely perfect. It is, you get a De La Soul high or low in hand, you'll never feel anything like that construction-wise or materials, period. And I got them at the outlet for about $68. Actually, I bought them for retail. I bought them for retail off the sneakers app. And then I was like, what the heck? And took them back, and then went to the back and picked up a pair off the wall. Should have grabbed like 5 of them. Number 2, I got Air Max 95 OG Neons. Now, I don't have a really good relationship with Air Max 95s, but that gradiated dark gray to light gray, light, to white, or whatever the lightest gray tongue, is one of the best done gradiated sneakers you could ever see. It's not gradiated, it's mixed, it's layers. It's a layer of suede. Layer. Great.
I think you did top 10 color blocking list. So.
No, my favorite colorways. And number 1, to me, Nike SB Dunk Blue Lobsters. Because 1, you didn't have to make a Blue Lobster. It being a rare aquatic type thing, whatever, you didn't have to make one. A red one, we get it. You didn't have to make a yellow one either. A yellow lobster exists, I guess, somewhere out there. You know, I was talking to Dion like probably a few weeks ago, joking because they found some different color lobster. I was like, yo, I need a 9.5 and a 12B. And he was like, LOL, whatever. The blue lobster.
Yeah, there's like a multicolored lobster they found. Now there's probably do a multicolor shoe now.
They better. See, Dion Point, legend. Jeff Staple. The pigeon is a legend.
I mean, Staples like kind of down the list of the people you name for me that I don't ever want to hear from.
He's on the clock. He can only survive off that pigeon for so long. I mean, the pigeon is the New York animal. Like, you know, that's what makes it great. But like I said, number 1,
state bird.
It's the state bird. It actually should be the state bird. The pigeon is highly disrespected in this country. But number 1, like I said, the Dunk SB Low Blue Lobster.
Pigeon should be disrespected. That's what pigeon nickname should be disrespect.
Fam, they have actual communities. Like, there are people, as far as I'm concerned, in New York. Like, they're to be counted in the population.
Yes, Lawrence Fishburne.
Counted in the population. What you got?
Lawrence Fishburne in John Wick 7.
Why was he a pigeon? What was that even? He didn't even have to be that. I was like, why does he gotta be a pigeon?
He's gonna be the hero in the next one, I think.
Is he
the
the
one,
next one?
I mean, he's the one who picked John Wick up at the end.
I was heated. Oh, that's right. I was heated that Wireman.
Cart.
Wireman isn't in.
Bodyguard's all folded in. Huh?
Oh, he fell off that building, didn't he?
Oh, he is? He's not?
No, he's not in it. I was like,
you see the cast already or something?
Yeah, I always look up the cast of everything. Now, unless he like comes in later.
How's he? I don't understand. He was still alive at the end, and he played a big part in the shooting everybody up.
As of right now, he wasn't part of the cast list. So,
all right. Number 10. I don't think you can make a list. It's at the bottom because I don't necessarily care, but I don't think you can make a list without putting just not monochrome, but you know what I mean, like an all red shoe. So,
of course,
a Red October. I think there may have been all red shoes before Red October, but everyone calls it the Red October colorway. So
I don't know if there was. So.
There's definitely
Raging Bull 5s, but that wasn't all red. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's something nice about all red shoe.
And I wanted to say Air Max 90 Hyperfuse for the July pack that I have. That's the one I would have said, but
yeah, I'm not talking about the actual shoe. I'm talking about just all red, whatever. Number 9, Mars Yard Tom Sachs is since been used. The colorway was used on the other shoe that we like that you got, even though you said when you put it on you didn't really like it. There's something about that brown, red, and white that goes together really well. I
own 3 now, so I must pretty like it.
What 3 of what?
Of that model.
Oh, you got the other ones, not Mars Yard. You're talking about?
Yeah, I don't got that one.
Okay. Number 8, Atmos Elephant. I mean, I think you could put that. They put it on a Jordan 3. You could put that colorway, color blocking on other things. Obviously, elephant prints easy to work with. They
didn't put that on a Jordan 3.
Yeah, they did. They did a Jordan pack.
They did. No, they did Safari, like a Safari brown and whatever for the Jordan.
No, they did a pack with the Elephant Air Max 1. It was a Jordan pack.
The Elephant Air Max 1, and then the Jordan 3 was the Safari. It wasn't Elephant.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that.
Oh, man.
It wasn't. They didn't do.
It was the same color.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, okay.
Jordan Atmos pack. Yeah, see, look. No, it's not. It was like black suede and like safari print.
It's the same colorway.
Because, wait, is it? Oh, that's the same colorway?
I mean, well, there's no swoosh on the Jordan, but look at the tongue and look at the bottom.
Well, I mean, this orange
and the back,
stuff.
Fam.
Oh no, it's not. Look at this. This is safari print. This is elephant print. They're 2 different animals.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the blue, whatever color blue you want to call it, turquoise.
There's no turquoise on the Jordan.
Yes, it is. Look at the tongue and look at the other one. It's just sewn, so it's not the same
tongue is
brightness.
Forest green. What are you talking about? Have you seen these in person?
I'm looking at the picture right now. I don't think that's forest green.
It's dark forest green.
No, I don't think so. We'll just agree to disagree.
It says Atmos bundle.
You must be looking at authentics.
See, look. Look. There you go. eBay.
You looking at
look
fakes.
At that. Them joints ain't the same.
I mean, the tongue is the same. Look at the tongue. The tongue is that turquoise colorway. Now, maybe it's sewn, so it's embroidered, so it doesn't look as bright as if you painted it, but it looks like the same color. And the back of the shoe, Nike swoosh, has a similar color too.
One is
and the bottom of the shoe,
Safari. The bottom of the shoe is clear.
No, the logo on the bottom of the shoe, not the clear translucent. On the bottom of the shoe, I'm pretty sure it's that turquoise color.
What else you got?
There's been other shoes use that colorway too. Anyways, regardless, I don't know what the point was.
That's the bottom of the shoe.
Yeah, I thought there was a swoosh on there. Maybe what's the other one? It doesn't say Nike on both of them, does it? Maybe the Air Max 1 is the one that has some on the bottom of the shoe.
Jordan logo on it.
Okay,
that's whack. That Jordan logo's on the bottom of that.
Yeah,
whack.
Anyways, number 7.
Boxes.
Yeezy Air Yeezy 2 Solar Red colorway, the black with the pink. You can call it Blink. You can call it whatever you want. We'll just call it Yeezy Solar Red 2. This is one that you would never ever put on your list, but I like it. The FC Barcelona Mango that's on the Kobe's. Kobe 6 and Kobe 11, 12. The Mango's fire to me. I mean, and Barcelona did have jerseys. Their third kit one year was that color, which is where they got that idea from. But that Mango.
How much those go for? You might have to go cop.
Nah, too expensive. I own the one already, the 11 or 12 or whatever. What's your house?
Oh, that's right.
The other one's like
you haven't worn
multiple
since.
Thousands. I think I wore once.
Yeah, to my house.
And then wore once after that, I'm saying.
Yeah, home.
Yes, I left their house, drove home. Wore 2 times. Took it off my foot in the car, put it back on, and get out the car. So you're a geek. Number 5, the Casina Neptune / Turbo Green Jordan 1. That whatever that. I know a lot of these kind of seem like they're like Tiffany blue or whatever, but turquoise color, whatever that colorway is. But yeah, like the Casina Neptune Green
We'll never
Turbo
see that again in our life.
Jordan 1. I'm sure they'll use the colorway on something.
I mean,
but we'll never see the dunk. We'll never see it. We may not even ever see it in person, like in a store.
Never.
But, number 4, you knew this was going to be on here. Diamond Supply, Tiffany SB. The colorway's been used. You know, they did the reverse SB with the white shoe with the silver swoosh. That's the one I had when they did the pack or whatever. Yeah, they were.
High too.
They were, but I'm saying like, oh yeah, and the high. Number 3, Black Cement. Black Cement anything. Black Cement 3, Black Cement Supreme Dunk, the best or one of the best dunks of all time. They used it on the shoe.
OG one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. They used it on the one that we talked about that they sold at Journeys. They use it on all kinds of shit.
That's right. Jordan Pack.
Yeah, the J-Pack non-SB dunk. They've used it on other things. You can call the Jordan 4 Black Cement, even though it doesn't have elephant print or whatever. It's still Black Cement 4. Number 2, Jordan 4 Undefeated. So the Undefeated colorway. They've used it on a bunch of different things. You could, non-undefeated shoes as well, but just that olive and orange.
Should have did KD 4.
Dark orange or whatever. Well, the shoe to me doesn't matter if we're just saying colorways.
Yeah.
I mean, that shoe I think is color blocked really well. I mean, I think that's where Undefeated's entire reputation comes from as being like an industry leader, is just from that one shoe. But
I looked that joint up, 40,000.
Yep. And then number 1 might be kind of surprising. It wouldn't be surprising if I said it was like on a shoe list, but just as a colorway, this Pigeon NYC.
Dang,
that colorway to me is the most. I think my most favorite colorway, and obviously they use it on New Balances after that, and they've used it on all kinds of stuff. Those New Balances, they put it on fire.
Clearly, it's your favorite because you almost risk your sneaker reputation.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Buying War Loaded
reputation.
Joints.
Yes,
you almost risked it.
I don't see you giving Yuri any grief for what he copping.
I give grief all the time.
You didn't say you Yuri lose your sneakerhead card.
Yuri has a problem.
No, whatever you just said right now.
Yuri has a problem. He owns about 7 Kais right now. That's a lot of Kais.
I didn't see you challenging his sneaker manhood over the one shoe.
Because I really don't know Yuri like that as far as sneaker stuff. I know you. We was outside together.
It don't matter. If I would have came in here with them on and they would have looked like the sample, you would have been like, oh, okay, I made a mistake not buying those. Mm-hmm.
I might have felt a way.
Now, keep in mind, at that time, we didn't know all about Lotus Head that we know now. So, in hindsight,
we really
would I ever
know anything now?
Well, we know more. He made a man run through the forest to deliver a shoe, didn't he?
No.
What happened?
He asked if anybody wanted to run through the forest, and a man said, "I'll do it."
There's that. There's the lawsuit where he did the picture with the suit. We know a lot more.
Irrelevant.
The Phoenix Suns
because that's because
the clothes are trash. We know a lot more than we did when I bought that.
Putting that same logo that's on the.
We know more. That's all I'm saying.
Putting that logo that's on the Booker shirt on the shorts is the dumbest thing ever. Like you didn't even do anything different. Oh my god, the Suns in 4 Lotus shirt. Come on, fam. Like, stop it. Let me see what the score is. Right. All right, I got nothing else. You got something else?
No.
All right, let's go home. Let's just think this. Pow, pow, pow. Draft next week. Uh-oh, Suns. Uh-oh. Oh, I got to put it down. All right, let's go.
Ping, pang, boom.